listen to this, but it's good to have a refresher. Okay. So everything that I say today is purely for educational purposes and does not constitute any form of like buying and selling or investment advice for everyone here. Okay, just a little bit about myself. I am an ex-banker for CIMB Bank previously. I spent more than 8 years there. Throughout my career, I've done over $1 billion worth of loan transactions, both Islamic as well as conventional. I am a real estate strategist at the same time, and I'm a loan specialist, and currently I'm pursuing my master's in real estate from NUS. So I have two setups, one dedicated for individuals, so anything to do with your personal home loans, anything to do with your renovation loan, your credit, personal credit bureau comes under Dean Advisory, which I am managing full-time. And at the same time, I have another setup called Finec Group Private Limited, which caters for companies and business owners. So for today's segment is purely on business loans and business financing. I will not touch about the Sharia aspect of it. We can have a separate discussion on that, but I will not touch on that topic for today. Okay, so these are some of the deals that we have done over the past few years. And these are the types of SME financing facilities available across all the banks in Singapore. So specifically, I'll be touching on is the government financing schemes, which were available before Budget 2020, before COVID hit. These were going at about 6% to 9% per annum interest rates. Okay, so just bear this in mind. Before Budget 2020, it was 6% to 9%. So there are other types of business loans. They call it unsecured business term loans. They have equipment and machinery loans. They have commercial and industrial property loans. And then they do have trade financing. So the rates are self-explanatory, but rates are, of course, subject to the different banks' discretion, subject to their own credit checks, and whether the underlying asset for those secured loans like your machinery and your commercial industrial property loan are acceptable to the banks or not. Next, so what happened during circuit breaker, and then the government announced a slew of measures. So in Budget 2020, those who managed to capitalize then in 2020, whereby the government extended a risk share of 90% for unsecured loans. All the loans that you see here are all unsecured, which means the banks do carry a risk in the event that you don't pay. If you don't pay, means it's technically there's nothing for them. You can't go anything except for their personal assets, which usually are secured by a personal guarantee. So whoever owns the business, usually they will ask them to sign a personal guarantee on the loans extended to the business entity. Okay, so you have your EFS WCL, which means the Enterprise Financing Scheme, Working Capital Loan. You have the Enterprise Financing Scheme, Trade Loan, and then you have the Temporary Bridging Loan Program. So this Temporary Bridging Loan Program is unprecedented, has never been done before, and the government announced it in Budget 2020. Fast forward Budget 2021 last year, they reduced the risk share for the respective categories to 50% to 70% for EFS WCL. For EFS trade loan, the government risk share was 70%. And then for the temporary bridging loan, the government risk share is 70%. So this has been announced in July last year. This has been extended to 31st March 2022, which is coming up real fast. I'm looking forward to the Budget 2022, whether this will be extended. My hunch is it will most likely not be extended for TBPL, but for the other two, maybe there's a chance that they could still extend it. All right. So just a flavor of what are the going rates across the different banks and finance partners that we work with, among others. So you can just have a look at all the different kind of rates. So the unique thing about the temporary bridging loan program is that the interest rate is capped at 5%. Those who managed to get it in 2020, they were paying 1 to 3% interest rates at that point of time, which is very unprecedented over my whole banking career. I've never seen business loans to SMEs being as low as 1 to 3% per annum. Of course, right now the rates are between 3 to 5%. which is because there's a cap set by the government at 5%. So what does this government risk share mean? So because the government is risk sharing, that's why they're able to cap the rate at 5%. But it does not mean that if you default on the loan, you are only required to pay 30%. So this is one of those misconceptions. That if let's say you borrow 100,000, you are still liable for the full 100,000, but the bank will exhaust all methods and all efforts to go and get back this 100,000 from you. When that fails, then they will submit the request to government. Hey, look, I did this for the SME, but they are unable to pay. So I'm okay to absorb 30%, 30,000, I will write off. 70% government you absorb. So that's what it means by the risk share portion. The second one is some people try to be creative. Hey, look, if I apply 1 million working capital loan with 3 different banks, can I get 3 million in total? So this is not possible. Each SME can only obtain a maximum of 1 million for EFS WCL, the working capital loan, and up to 3 million for TBLP. So for example, for the temporary bridging loan, maybe Maybank says I can give you 200,000, and then they can't go anything beyond that. But you can go with OCBC. OCBC say I can give you 150,000. You can go to UOB, and UOB say I can give you another 150,000. So the max across all the banks is kept for the temporary bridging loan is at 3 million. So the record is recorded with the government. But the banks don't talk to each other, right? The banks don't talk to each other. So in terms of your application process, for example, you had applied for OCBC earlier and you had secured 150,000, and then you want to apply some more, right? Maybe OCBC might be able to increase because maybe because of the injection earlier that you had, your business grew over the year, and then you want to try again. So maybe that could be possible. You can increase it with OCBC, but an alternative would be to go with another bank. So don't just limit yourself to just one bank. Do diversify your source of funding. Again, anything can happen across the banks, right? Even a bank as big as OCBC can still be subjected to phishing scams. So always good to have backups in the form of other banks. So another misconception is that the government is giving money for free. So I should quickly set up business and apply for this loan. Again, this is not true. So you can't set up a business tomorrow and straight away apply for a temporary bridging loan and expect that, hey, look, I'm going to get this 100,000. No, it doesn't work that way. Your business needs to be running for a while. It has to show some kind of track record in terms of books. I will go through those criteria in a bit. Okay, so some of the challenges faced by SMEs. Your sales turnover. You got to have some numbers there. Okay, it can't be just set up 1 year and then you don't show growth and the number is just too low. So the banks will definitely reject this. Low paid-up capital. You got to have some skin in the game. Can't be a $1 company. You got to show that you're a serious business owner. Weak bank balances, which means that at the end of the month you're at $2, $3, $2, $3 every month. This is not healthy from a bank's perspective. You face some credit bureau issues, and this relates to your own personal credit bureau, not really the company's credit bureau. They will do some checks on the company, whether there's any litigation, any rate issued on the company. But on a personal capacity, the stakeholders of the company, they will still run their own credit bureau search. So of course, we don't want to see any legal suits. There are certain industries which are classified as high risk. So for example, if you're in the tourism industry, chances are the banks will be least likely to lend you over the past 2 years, but maybe now some banks might be more open. Their risk appetite might be higher, so they might want to consider some tourism in view of the VTLs. Too many return checks. So this one also we don't want to see. I mean, you issue a payment, then the thing bounce, it will be reflected on your bank statement. High debt service coverage ratio. So every month, if you have gone through FAST program, then you will know that you have your revenue, you have your costs, and then you have your profit. And that's one part that you will use as interest servicing or as debt servicing. So if you have other loans already at the business, this debt service coverage ratio cannot be too high. So your total debt over your servicing capability, whatever income that's coming in. So just for example, as a business, I earn $10,000. and my debt repayments are at $6,000, which means that I'm at 60%. So 60% is for most banks, this is the threshold. Okay, if you are at 80%, well, this is very risky. There's a chance that they might not be able to pay if I were to extend them another $2,000 in terms of their monthly installment. Okay, years of operational history plays a part. Minimally, best is 2 years. If you are 1 year in operation, there is still a chance, depending on how you jaga your books. Okay, so these are some of the other factors that the bank look out for, depending on where you're operating your business, the outlook of the industry. These are external factors. Of course, internal factors that they look at will be the collaterals backing the loans. Your financial performance doesn't have to be audited as long as it's maintained properly and it's filed correctly. For 2021, for example, if your financial year is starting from January to December 2021, then we understand that the books may not be finalized, but we can rely on the management accounts to assess your financial loan ability. So we will look at your existing financial commitments, which means your debts which you have taken before at the company level, your past 6 months bank statements to show whether you have sufficient balance maintained every month, whether there's any recent change in your management and shareholders. This one is also important because it could be a change of a business strategy, and of course, current and past litigation. We don't want anyone suing your company for payments. And then at a personal level, where the guarantors come in, we need to look at your notice of assessment, how much you declare on your income. I know you're trying to save on taxes, but sometimes a high declared income is also good, which gives the bank some degree of confidence that, hello, if in the event something doesn't go right with the business, then I could still go back to the personal guarantee. Your CBS record plays a very important part. Age, to a certain extent, your net worth, and again, on a personal level, whether there's any current or past litigation. So how to increase your chances? If you have positive revenue and profitability, this would be a good time to apply for your business loan. You got to understand what kind of product you need, and if it's a trade loan secured against some invoices, then that's a trade financing. If it's just pure unsecured loan for your own business expansion, then you got to be clear on that. Again, no return checks and healthy bank balance. And I encourage to have at least 5 figures maintained in your bank account on a month-to-month basis. For the directors and guarantors, I would suggest that you maintain a good personal credit record. That means over the past 6 months, we don't want to see too many credit bureau searches on your account. You got to declare a reasonable amount of income. Minimally, I mean, they always ask me, what's the minimum, So this is just a figure that I've seen got approved before, but the loan amounts won't be too high sometimes. Sometimes they declare low at 35,000, but the business itself can be generating millions of dollars. So it's not a very key component, but it matters. And then, of course, you got to have good payment record. So what's next? You got to plan your timeline. I have clients who have sought my advice. They ask me, Shamir, I'm given this opportunity to take on 500,000 worth of temporary bridging loan. Should I take it on now, or should I wait? Because I don't really have a requirement right now. So my advice is, look, you're never going to get the opportunity where the interest rates is below 5%. I don't know whether the government is going to extend it. Sure, you may not have figured out what to do with the funds yet, but as business owners, it's always good to sit on a war chest. You'll see this term war chest used if you look into company annual reports and all that. They like to sit on cash, because when the opportunity comes, there's an acquisition, there's a deal that they want to put in money, that's when the cash does come in handy. On your personal credit facilities, I would recommend that you pay on time and pay in full. Always review your company's bank statements. I think FAS and team should be on top of this. And always keep your financing options open. So varying credit criteria, varying interest rate and financing terms. So always know when do I need the money, okay? Even though you don't need the money, there is an opportunity right now. So always plan ahead. So just a little bit of, I will share a little bit of this book later on, which my team came up with. Okay, so you can scan the QR code, doesn't cost much, $9.99. You will understand about capital structure, you will understand about debt, you will understand about equity. So all that will be addressed in the book. I will share another screen, I will show a sample of what the book will cover later. Okay, so this is a tailored report. If you are really keen, then this costs $99. Okay. Subsequently, we will need to collect some documents from you. We will do our assessment, and of course, you will get the book for free. Okay. Again, on our side, of course, we need God to earn something, right? So when we help you advise, if you don't get the loan for you, we don't charge you, so no results, no charge. I have a team that helps me with this, and we do have a track record. Okay, all right. So before I go to the bonus segment, any questions? Anybody?
Right, do we have any questions?
Oh, I have a question.
Oh, Madam
Sorry,
Hania,
I can
okay.
on my my camera.
Oh, no
What
worries.
will the loan has anything to do with the age of the person who applied for the company?
Okay, so sometimes
the owner, I mean.
Yeah, so sometimes the owner is too old, right? So even though the company is running, so there is a business succession concern of who will the personal guarantor be in the event that the company folds, for example, or they default on the loan. So the age does play a part. Of course, I look at the group here, I think all below 60 ada lah. So should be all right. So if some of the business owners I see, they are actually, even though they are past 60, they are still going strong, trying to secure these loans. So usually we will encourage them to bring in a younger stakeholder into the company.
Thank you.
Okay, so just want to share this. So what the book is there's like 74 pages in total. Okay, and then you will understand the difference between equity and debt financing. You understand capital structure. So today, what I have just presented is more on debt financing. So when it comes to equity financing, you're talking about shares. So that is a different ball game. You're looking for investors. You're looking to give up a portion of your company for a sum of money, in exchange for a sum of money. So there are certain metrics that they need to look at for equity financing, and then for debt financing, there are certain things that they look out for trade financing. So it's very extensive. So there are also angel investing being addressed in this book. So the friends and family, the foolish angel. So, and about pitch deck also, some of the points to look out for in pitch deck. And of course now the in-trend, the crowdfunding, the equity crowdfunding and the debt-based crowdfunding platforms. So this is just a snippet of what the book is all about. Okay. All right. I'll get Ashura to share I will share the link later with Ashura, then she can circulate to all of you. Okay. So now bonus segment, credit bureau. I'm getting a lot of these inquiries. Anyone here never see a credit bureau before? Don't know what it looks like. Don't know what it's all about. Okay. So every one of us have an NRIC, betul? We have NRIC. That shows our identity. But in order to know whether you are a good paymaster, we have a financial identity. This financial identity is recorded by the banks across all the banks, and they will give you a score. They will give you whether you are, it will tell you whether you are a good paymaster or whether you are a bad paymaster. All this is monitored by our highly efficient, I wouldn't say that they are government related, but in a way they could be, because Credit Bureau is actually a listed company. Actually, it started off as a private entity that works with all the banks to consolidate all the records from all the banks. So the banks submit all your credit card, all your personal loan, all your overdraft to them, and from there they consolidate, and then they prepare this report. Every one of us has it. Even if you have no record, also you will show you have no record. Okay, so this is very important for whatever purposes, for whether for your individual, whether for your business. This is extremely important. Okay, so let me just pull out my slides again. So all right, okay. So this is an example of the score. As long as you fall within this bandwidth, you are somewhat safe still. Of course, best we want to see AA lah. Who doesn't like to see an AA student, right? Everyone likes to see you scoring well. So if you are, can you see my mouse moving? Or you can't?
Yes, I can see.
Can see, yeah?
Yep.
Okay. So if you are AA, well and good. BB, still good. As long as you are AA, BB, keep it up. Keep up the good work. You can frame it up if you want to. But this is where it shows that your probability or default is in the region of 0.27% to 0.67%. CC and DD, okay, somewhere there, you know. EE and EF, also not so good, but somewhere there. GG and HH, the banks generally don't like to see this. You will have some challenge for sure. So if you are an AA credit, maybe even though your company is doing pretty okay, sometimes they might lend you, for example, your AA, maybe they lend you 100,000, but maybe because you're HH, they could lend you 80,000. So those are some of the key considerations. And then you have non-score risk grades. What does this mean, right? All these HX, HZ, GX, BX, CX. As long as you see an X or a Z, it's not good lah, right? So HX is something that they don't like, which means there's something past record filed against you, any existing writ or summons or any bankruptcy record. HZ, some kind of outstanding balance, haven't gone to HX yet. You're getting there, but you don't want to get to HX. Okay. GX usually is still okay. GX ada chance. GX because you are good lah. You don't believe in credit cards. You don't believe in loans. So you don't have an identity. I don't know who you are. So I put you a GX. BX I rarely see. Okay. This is more for those bridging loan or margin trading, which not many people have. And then CX, insufficient credit. So CX and GX, sometimes they go in tandem. So they are unable to derive a score. So later I will show you an example of how the full report looks like, but I'm just picking out segments of the report for now. So usually they will have a summary. It will show how many banks have made an inquiry on your financial identity. Okay, the number of accounts that you have, your secured credit limit, and your unsecured credit limit. Okay, what are all these? So your secured credit limit are things more common is HDB loan, your real estate loan, your private real estate loan, any secured personal loan, any restructured loan, all falls under secured credit limit. Unsecured credit limit is more often than not is your credit card and your overdraft and personal loan. These are the common three: credit card, overdraft, personal loan. These three I always see, very common. Okay, exempted or excluded is your renovation loan, study loan, and medical loan, and any staff benefit loans. So on every one of us, there is a limit up to 12 times your monthly income on your unsecured limits. Okay, so if you earn $5,000 a month, the limit that the banks impose across all banks is up to 60,000 going forward. So of course, I've had cases, last time they earn a lot, their limit now is at like 120,000, then the income drop. But as long as the banks are not updated, the limit will still stand. But if the banks are come to know this, chances are your personal credit limit will be reduced. This will show your payment record. Later in the actual report itself, I will show you what it means. We want to see this A record on the first row. Okay, we want to see, so what this first row means that if let's say you spend $1,000 on your credit card and the bill comes and the bill says that you pay the minimum amount, you pay $300 for example, then you won't incur the late payment charge. But the balance $700, the balance $700. You spend $1,000, minimum $300, the balance $700 will be charged interest at 20 to 24%. Different banks, different rates. So your next row will show that there's no balance transfer activity. Your third row will show whether a full payment has been made or not. So if you make $300 payment, your third row will show as N. If you make full payment the $1,000, your third row will show as Y. It means that you made the full payment for that month. The second row, what does this mean, right? Everyone maybe have a certain credit limit, okay, based on your income. The bank says, okay, I can give you a credit limit of $10,000. Out of the $10,000, $1,000 you spend on Sheng Siong, you spend on Coffee Bean, you spend on petrol, you spend up to $1,000. Now there's a balance of $9,000, right? Then for whatever reasons, you take out cash from your credit card. You take on a balance transfer, you take out a cash advance, you take out extra $3,000 cash. You pay them the fee over 6 months, over 12 months, then it will indicate on the report that you had taken out a balance transfer from your credit card. So it will indicate as a Y. So what payment pattern we want to see every month, and every month they track this. What payment pattern we want to see every month is A and Y. Just remember A and Y. Pay within they say that the statement comes on the 1st, you need to pay by 21st. If possible, you pay on the 2nd. Don't wait until the last day, right? You don't get caught for nothing. Okay. And then the second row, you want to see an N, and the third row, you want to see a Y. Okay, so this is an example of some report. Okay, earlier in my segment, I did share that this shows the number of inquiries. Okay, so for this particular example, previous inquiries made is 2, accounts 3, and default 2, right? Okay, so previous inquiries 2. So this is not the case here. For this particular example, you see they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 inquiries actually. Right? HL Bank made an inquiry. They did a personal check on themselves. Amex made an inquiry. HSBC made an inquiry. OCBC made an inquiry. And then this one also made a personal online request. So this kind of pattern is also not encouraged because it shows that, look, for whatever reasons, maybe this person's credit score is not so good, and they are hoping that the credit score will improve over a period of time. Okay, but maybe the person is not aware. They think that, oh, in November, I got a HH. Maybe next month I become a GG. The following month I become an FF. So they become a little bit more kanchang, and then they start checking it on themselves every other month. So this is something that the banks also generally don't like to see. Like, it shows a certain, it means that, wow, this person, what's wrong? Why they keep checking every month? Okay, and then here in the summary, ideally we do not want to see a default record. A default record means you have some kind of past history. This is something, I'm not saying that you may not be able to get, because sometimes the business is doing really well. The entity itself, the private limited or the LLP is doing well on an entity level, but on a personal level, maybe there might be some issue. So they will take this into consideration. They will allocate a score. They have a certain way to allocate weightage of risk internally at the bank. So what is a default record, right? A default record looks like this. You enter into some kind of negotiated settlement or full settlement. And just bear in mind that this default record will always remain there from start date. So for example, this one started in 2019, April. Only in April 2022, then this default record will be removed. So just take note of this. So that means for the next 3 years, it'll be very hard for most banks or lenders to want to lend you money. All right, so that's the end of the slides. I'll just show you an example of a credit report. Okay, so the full report is about 8 pages. The back view is all the description which I pull out just now for my presentation. It came from here. Okay. But most people don't read the back part. They only focus on the first few pages, the first 4 pages typically, right? So, okay, so quiz time. Anyone can tell me ANN, good or no good? See, ANN every month, good or no good?
No.
Thanks. Who's that? Just now? Who was it that said no?
I think it was 2 persons, Shana and Mirza together.
Oh, okay. Right. So
Aku nak minta prize.
apa dia?
You want a prize?
Prize, this one just okay. We can settle privately, no problem. These are the match days bruise, right? So we can go for that. Okay. So this was a case that I encountered in 2017. Inquiry date, we made an self-inquiry in December 2017. So not so much. I mean, as long as you have some credit limit, I think it's good. It's all right. Okay. So okay. So just to confirm that this is the same person, the last few digits of the NRIC 192C, just remember. Okay. So there was some history with RHB. Okay. So for renovation loan or even personal loan, you will show that you had, if the statement is due on the 21st and you make payment on the 30th, then it will reflect as a B. This is something that we do not want to see also. A lot of ANN, and then this one, some ANY, some ANN. So all this all will lead up to your overall score. Okay, so his score in 2017 December was HH. Okay, so but after meeting with me and going through some strategies, because each family or each business setup is different, so there's different considerations. There is a way to improve it. Okay. So let's see. Secured credit limit was 9,004. Unsecured credit limit was 29,000. So what happened in March 2018? Same NRIC number 0192C. We pull it out. we pull it out in March 2018. But I actually increased his credit limit to 48,000. Right? Before 29,000, after 48,000. His secure credit limit sort of paid down a little bit over the 3 months. Okay. Yeah, you still have these records. Okay. ANY, ENY, ANY still have. But he became a BB. Okay. So this is my best case to date. So I'm very proud of this case. Of course, most of my other cases take longer, between 6 to 12 months. But there are certain strategies which this person undertook, okay, to be able to qualify and improve his credit score to a BB. Then after that, he can move on to his next step. Okay. If I compare in 2017, what were the main problems here, right? So in 2017, he had this motor vehicle loan, he had this unsecured credit card with DBS, he had this unsecured credit card with Standard Chartered, and he had this unsecured personal loan with HSBC. Okay. So we compare this and this. What was the problem here? Can anyone spot? This is before. It's the same 4 lines. Do you notice what's the main difference here? Spot the difference. DBS, this is 2018. I'm going back to 2017. Okay. Want to go back to 2018? What's the key difference here? Anyone can tell me or not? Okay, tak ada orang spot Okay, in 2017, look at his, let me see if I can put this out. All right, look at this. Can I do something here? Okay, so this Standard Chartered, right? Unsecured credit card of 10,000. Okay. Let's remove this annotate. Okay, here. Why the annotate remains there lah? Tak apa. Then I just remove it. Okay, so Standard Chartered was 10,000 in 2017, and then in 2018 it reduced to 2003. So he managed to raise some funds. I told him to pay down his Standard Chartered. That was one of the key problems here. So when I look at this report in 2017, okay, and I look at his Standard Chartered, here, ANN. So there was an outstanding here. He never pay on time and he never pay in full. That was the main problem here. Of course, DBS is also a problem, okay, but he was working towards it. So whatever bonuses he got, he extra income that he got, he paid down most of his Standard Chartered loan. So that brings down the liability under the unsecured balance. Okay, for HSBC, no change, not much change, 6,009 and 6,000. So that was one of the key problems. So it's about identifying what is the problem, which card is giving you the most problem, and nipping it in the bud. And from there, you are able to improve your credit score. Okay, so that's it. I extended my time, Ashura. Sorry about that.
All right, Ken. Thank you so much, Shamir. All right. But before we end this segment, is there any other questions that we have? Maybe we have time for one or two. Any questions? No questions? Betul? Tak ada? Going once, twice. Okay, gone. Let's move on to the next segment. All right, thank you so much, Shamir. For you and your team, you can stay on till the end of the program. You're welcome to stay. But before we move on to the next segment, all right, we'll go for a short 10 minutes break. After the break, we will have Coach Fas to go through the contents for the month of February. All right, so let's go for a 10 minutes break. But during the break, for our guests who are here today, based on invitations by our current monsters, we will be bringing you to a breakout room. All right, Ashura will be sharing with you just a little bit about our program. And also, if you have any questions regarding the program, you can ask her accordingly. All right, so before we go for the break, let's have a photo. Those of you who have your cameras on, let's take a photo while Shamir is here. All right, tak selalu ni Shamir ada. All right, okay. Ready?
All right.
Tiba-tiba semua buka emas semua. All right, okay. Ready? 1, 2,
3. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much, everybody. All right, time now is about 2:50. Okay, we will resume the session at 3 p.m.
All right, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum to everybody. Thank you for being here. So occasionally I will turn to this side because I can see everybody's face on this monitor here. But in any case, today we're going to go through understanding your numbers, right? And importantly, as you all know my style, most of you know my style, right? Except for those of you who are previewing today. Whatever that I'm going to go through with you today, inshallah, it's all real practical advice. Inshallah, go through it, tengok, catat pada mana, take down anything that you rasa is important. And importantly, lepas tu, when you go back to your business, go and do it, inshallah. Okay, I promise you the things that I'm going to share with you today, inshallah, this is not going to be textbook stuff, because that one you can go and baca, inshallah. Okay, today what I'm going to go through with you is the things that I actually implement with my clients and I know are very important and critical to all businesses. Okay, come, mari kita mulakan. Set, let's go in. So as usual, how to win at today's session, please connect, inshallah, give 100%. Okay. Try not to be distracted by stuff. Okay. Open heart and open mind, as I always say, inshallah, open your heart so that your mind can benefit fully from it. Okay, and participate fully. Okay, so kalau ada apa-apa yang kita nak buat together, please do it together as well. Jangan go into your own shell, which is wasted. Be patient. Everybody learns in different timing and different style. So be patient for yourself and for others to learn together. All right, enjoy the process together. And last but not least, nanti bila dah habis semua, reflect on what we went through today so that you can actually really use it for your business. Okay? All right. So today, inshallah, kita akan go through these important parts, which are business costing, cash flow, and financial quality management. These are the three broad topics, and there'll be quite a few subtopics in between now. Okay, let's dive in, inshallah. Come, let's go to the next slide. So for business costing, we'll be going through these elements to it. Okay, I'll talk to you guys a little bit about sales, what you need to do, percentages, cost equation, profit equation, break-even analysis, and last but not least, your P&L analysis. Okay, all right. Let's go to sales. Okay, so for sales, I think it's very important for you to understand that sales is your actual amount or your actual revenue yang you derive from selling your product or your service. Okay, but always must bear in mind that inside your sales, the huge chunk of it will be, your cost of goods sold. So if you're selling something, a tangible item, there'll be COGS. If you're actually selling services, it will be cost of services, right? And then after the baki of it, the balance is going to be your profit. Okay, so let's take a look at this photo here, right? So if you see this photo, can anyone tell me what are the cost elements yang you nampak? Let's hear from someone not in FMB lah. Nanti dia dah expert sangat tau. Okay, let's ask Farzana. Boleh Farzana? Farzana apa expert juga actually. Okay, silakan. How are you? Come, silakan Farzana. You're muted now.
Okay, can. My page change just now. From what I can see will be cost of packaging, cost of the ingredients like the beras, the timun, the chicken, the peanuts, the ikan bilis, the oil, and let me see what else. The barang-barang to bikin the sambal, and also electricity cost and the water cost.
Awesome.
So
if you notice, some of the items are very tangible. It's very easy for you to see. Some items are not also tangible, but it's actually in the production of these particular items. Betul? Nak goreng satu ayam, minyak yang digunakan, masa yang digunakan, that kind of stuff. Correct? Now, if you can minus off all of this, the balance is going to be your profit. Okay? It's very important that you understand this concept. It's a very, very basic concept, but when you understand it, you will be able to understand that every plate yang you jual, every baju yang you jual, every service yang you buat, in its small nitty-gritty state, there's going to be a profit element from there. So it's a question of whether you're going to replicate this, sell how many of this in order for you to get your target profit. Right? So that's the concept here, right? Very, very important. Kita jangan, that's why sometimes when you hear on the news kan, orang jual nasi lemak $1 one plate, something like that. So and then they're struggling for in their business. So that makes you wonder, ni $1 per plate, dorang boleh cover tak? Right? So unless they have a strategy, if not, it's questionable. Okay? All right, so that's the main thing. All right, come, let's go to the next one. Percentages. Okay. So let me ask you, if your marketing expenses for the month lah, say it's $5,000, is this a big amount? Anyone can say yes or no? How about Kak Zu? Mahal tak Kak Zu? 5,000. Kak Zu mana mahal Kak Zu? Kak Zu memang apa? 10,000 ke?
Mahal, but it depends also your business punya besar atau kecil. Yeah.
Okay, so basically it's expensive, but depends on your size of your business. Okay. All right. How about Idayu from Deluxe? What do you think? 5,000 per month.
I think if your business is big enough, this is a small amount for you to laburkan to get back. You do marketing to market your company, right? So yeah, I think it's a good investment to fork out that 5K, I think.
Okay, cool. So the point I want to bring up here is, let's not consider the amount $5. Let's consider it as a percentage first. Okay, so macam tadi you mentioned, both of you mentioned the size of the business. Okay, let's look at the next slide. Right, so there's these two scenarios. If you consider your sales as the benchmark, right? If your sales is 50,000 or your sales is 500,000, next slide. For the first scenario, that 5,000 yang you spend to is 10% of your sales. Right? Second scenario, if you make 500,000 per month, there is only 1%. Right? So the point here is, kalau boleh, if you want to make a financial decision, don't just look at the amount. Sometimes kita dengar amount tu macam 5,000 banyak wow. Kali then, but actually for Atika, 5,000 nothing. Because hers is 500,000 per month sales. Amin Atika, amin. Okay, ni jangan diam, you kena amin kuat. So there's only 1%. So for her 1%, no issue, inshallah. Alright, okay. Alright, let's go to the next slide. Cost equation. Okay, ni numbers kena ingat ni. Okay, so this is a very simple equation. I hope all of you can try to remember this. Kalau nak tulis, boleh tulis. TC adalah total cost. Okay. VC adalah variable cost. FC adalah fixed cost. And SC adalah scaling cost. Okay, kita akan go in a bit detail. Okay, just remember TC total cost is equals to variable plus fixed plus scaling. So there are three elements. Okay. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Okay, I think jangan tengok ni dulu. Nanti korang pada sakit. Kita reverse balik. Sorry, come. Kita go back to page to slide number 9. Let me define this for you lah. Jadi you tak stress. Okay. Variable cost. Hanan, she knows this. Come Hanan. What is variable cost?
I'm not too sure. Variable cost, something that changed per month, right?
Okay. Give me an example.
Is it to do with salary also? Do they have variable cost and salary, like commission or?
Commission element, yes. Commission element, yes. Okay, another one more.
I don't know, fluctuating cost of petrol.
Okay, so if you do deliveries, right, you're affected by it, fine, right? So that is something which goes up and down. So remember VC, thank you Hanan. VC is everything to do with usage. As you use more, the expenses will go higher. You use lesser, you consume lesser, it'll be lesser. Okay, now fixed cost. What is it? Haikal, boleh kasih satu example Haikal? Apakah itu fixed cost? Ada baru nak sandar, sorry Haikal.
Fixed cost. Barang-barang lah. Barang kita beli ke apa ke, like equipment, fix apa. Atau barang-barang dapur, semua fix je.
Okay, unfortunately gaji, that's not fixed. Kalau gaji okay, tak ada orang tak fix.
Gaji.
Kalau gaji tak ada commission, maknanya gaji dia tetap every month certain amount. Yes, that will be a fixed cost.
Oh, pasal barang harga naik okay.
Rental.
Siapa sebut tu? Very good.
Tapi rental pun naik sih.
Okay, it's not about the naik ke tak. It's about whether does it remain constant over some time. Okay, so for fixed cost, yes, rental is one of them. Salaries, not the commission portion. Maknanya the standard basic salary is a fixed cost. Okay, now let me jump into SC, scaling cost, which is what just now Haikal mentioned. She mentioned about equipment.
Sorry, what's SC tadi you cakap? Tak dengar.
Scaling cost.
Scaling. Okay.
Yes. Okay. So, okay, someone like Haikal, someone like Isno, doing film and everything, okay, you guys will need to upgrade your equipment from now and then. Betul. After 2 years, you tak boleh pakai Sony A6000 dah. Nak pakai entah apa, tak tahu lah. I tak tahu you all industry apa, all the acronyms but you will need to upgrade lah. Okay, senang kata need to upgrade. So, your scaling cost is every 2 years, you kena tukar barang. That is scaling cost. You know, so every 2 years kena tukar. Ataupun you are okay with your current equipment as long as you do not get a job which requires you to do too many things lah. Let's just put it away. So in order for you to go for a bigger job, you need to scale bigger, you need to buy more equipment. Okay, you need to invest in more people. You need to actually invest in a bigger space, or you need to buy more stage equipment, lighting, blah blah blah. That is also scaling cost. Okay. Now, for Azhar, Abang Azhar, for all those in F&B, okay, scaling cost is you dah jual banyak lah satu bulan, sampai dah tak boleh jual lagi. Tahu tak? Okay, the only way for you to increase your revenue is to take the shop kat sebelah. Okay, or to open another outlet somewhere else. That is also your scaling cost.
But fast, kalau sekiranya kita nak revamp balik the outlook of the better look into the currency,
itu will be under your fixed cost.
Oh, okay.
Maknanya nak ubah suai is okay. That one not scaling cost. Kalau you dah maximum capacity, you dah tak boleh gunakan lagi tempat ni. In order for you to increase your revenue, you kena buka kedai sebelah. Ataupun for those of you in education, right? Your classes dah gunakan your premises sampai dah full dah. Dah tak ada lagi slot available dah. So you have to take another one more premises. Then they will be under scaling cost. Boleh? You all guys, everybody okay tak? This explanation. Boleh kasih thumbs up sikit lah. Takut korang tidur tau. Okay, best. Okay, jom. Let's go to slide number 9. Okay, this one is just to show you in terms of a graph, how does it look like. Okay. Alright. So, kadang-kadang kita imagine sebenarnya you know your curve is going to be like straight naik macam itu So sebenarnya tak lah, kan dia naik turun, but generally dia akan ikut ini. So for you to know, the red one is your fixed cost. So over time dia sama je. Sama. Okay. Your green one tu is going to be your variable cost. Okay. Ataupun your scaling cost. It could also be in the same way juga, tapi the difference sikit je. Right? When you total up, then it becomes the blue line. Alright? So typically, this is how it looks like. Cuma dia tak perfect macam ni. Kadang-kadang naik sikit, turun sikit. Okay, but don't get so stressed out. Okay, just for you to understand sikit je. Okay, alright, let me continue ya. Okay, jom, next one. Okay, here you see it in full lah, right? So where it goes from number 100 to, that's actually your sales. Okay, yang purple line to, that's your sales. Okay, your red one is actually your fixed cost. Your green one is your variable cost. Your blue one is your scaling cost. So kalau you nak tahu antara the purple dengan biru, if you see the in between tu, that is where your profit is. Okay, so for those of you yang remember A-Maths ke E-Maths ke dulu-dulu I tak ingat sangat lah. That's why I tengok alamak. Okay, kena ingat balik ni time secondary school kan. But basically yes lah, the area between your purple and blue, that's your profit. Okay, insyaAllah kalau ada sesiapa yang ajar tuition kat sini, boleh mengesahkan lah, insyaAllah. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, so here we're going to touch a little bit about understanding the numbers between the figures that you have, understanding the money aspect. So this thing about break even is something is very important that you all nak tahu. Okay, break even. Anybody can hazard a guess what is this all about? How about Hafiza?
That means you make back the money that you put out.
Okay, that means it's at equilibrium, right?
Yes.
Okay, at that point in time, are you profitable?
No, not yet. You just broke even.
Cantik. Okay, so guys, just understand break even punya concept is that for those of you who has driven a manual car, okay, is when you press your accelerator skate, you let go your clutch skate. That is the biting point where you are not moving, tapi you are about to move. Okay, that's exactly the break even point. Is where you have actually recoup, you dah jual barang-barang semua enough to cover all your cost, tapi tak ada extra. Okay, kenapa this concept is important? Thank you Dr. Malik for joining us. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi. Alright, okay, why is this important guys? Kenapa kita nak tahu our break even? Anybody boleh minta, boleh share with me? Silakan. Anyone can share? Why do you think this is important? Kalau tak ada, I tanyalah. Saman, boleh tak you share dengan kita? Kenapa? Nak kena tahu break even.
Assalamualaikum.
Salam.
Okay, so break even important because we have to know that our business is moving up, and then to know that, because to reach our profit is not easy, so we have to go through the break-even path first. So at least we know that we cover 50% of our end mile lah.
Okay, all right, fantastic. So guys, I want you to know the reason why it is very important, like what someone tadi mentioned, is because lepas you dah break even, baru you akan ada profit. So maknanya with understanding your break even point, you will know how many of your products or how many of your services you need to sell. Okay, so kalau all your total cost, you dah add up everything semua, comes up to 4,990 per month. Okay, all right, 4,000, say 5,000 lah, $5,000 per month. That's your total cost. Okay, right? When you sell your barang-barang, your profit per item, your nasi lemak tadi tu yang I show you the photo tu, your profit for that plate is $2. Profit. Okay, $2. So what's going to happen is that you need to sell, okay, calculator, $5,000 divided by $2. You need to sell 2,500 plates in order to cover all the cost. The moment you sell your 2,501 plate, you already make profit already. Okay, understand this? Boleh? Very easy, right? Boleh, so you need to sell more than what you require. Okay. Nazri, you tak mute lah, Nazri. Okay. Okay, alright. Let's move on from there. Tadi nak masak apa Buat apa je. Okay, next. So here is how you see it in your numbers. Okay. So if you see this spreadsheet, just to show you quickly, okay, from January 2021 sampai December 2021, okay, the sales are there, the cost of sales are there, the gross profit is there. Okay, tapi dia ada expenses kat bawah tu. Okay, lepas dia dah minus ke semuanya, ada net profit. Right? But for the month of March, for the month of September, dia tak dapat profit, dia loss sebenarnya. So bila ada loss, dia tak dapat cover dengan break even. Right? Tapi kalau you tengok secara keseluruhan, for the whole year, they did make a profit of 16,497. Now, let me ask Aisha, is this okay ke tak okay, Aisha? And why?
To me, it's okay because at least by end of the year, there's no loss.
Okay. All right. Anybody here disagree with Aisha tak? Or anybody here agree not want to say your piece? Come, silakan. Don't worry ya, tak judge apa-apa tau. This is perkongsian. Jom. Haikal, jom Haikal. Haikal you macam dah tengok on ni.
Itu tak masuk gaji kan? Kalau 1 tahun 16,000 gaji, apa hal sih?
Okay, assume lah. Assume dah masuk lah.
Assume dah masuk gaji. 16,000 kira okey lah, rezeki lah. Alhamdulillah.
Okay, alright. Okay, yes Asa. Yes, silakan.
Okay, I think about the marketing punya expenses, which is on the particular month of March, that has been shoot up to 1,200. They will jeopardize on the net profit bawah negative. So it doesn't work of that particular month for 1,200 that we spend, and we have a negative punya side. So we have to control onto this.
Okay. Now before I go deeper, thank you very much Azhar, thank you very much Haikal. Okay, now I just share with you quickly number one. Whether or not there's a loss at the end of the month. Okay, how to know whether okay ke tak is whether you're the standby money for you to be able to cover this amount or not at the end of the month. So kalau you ada standby punya duit, which is not, you tak nampak kat sini, you cuma nampak dekat your balance sheet. So kalau ada cash untuk you jaga, untuk you cover this loss, then it's fine. Then as what Aisyah cakap, okay lah. As what Haikal cakap, okay lah. Pasal at least dapat 16 okay at the end of the year. Betul? Correct? Now, what Asa said just now, you see, because of 1,200 dia spend selepuk macam itu, the loss. Tengok the 1,800 dia spend in September, the loss. Now, tapi sebaliknya, bila dia spend 1,200 in March, you tengok profit dia in April. You tengok sales dia in April. Kan dia melonjak jadi 8,500 April 2021. Tengok profit dia jadi 4,289. Kan cantik? Now you tengok the month of August. Dia spend berapa? Month of September. Dia spend 1,800 on marketing. Jadi loss 654. Tetapi the next month of August, dia punya sales naik. Nampak? Sampai 7,002. Then profit pun besar, 3,003. So sebenarnya, the question is, do you want to make your marketing something which is consistent atau you nak buat selepuk? Generally selepuk is not a good idea unless you nak buat this thing called kiting. Kiting maknanya you nak naikkan lagi. So kalau boleh, you make it every month biar a certain amount and you make sure you can make money every month, make profit. Okay, tapi you taruh extra untuk marketing only for those months yang you tahu boleh naikkan lagi gila-gila. So you know your industry. Okay, so for those of you yang in F&B, you know, for example, month of Ramadan, mungkin that's the month you terpaksa kena buka throttle sikit. So you pay marketing dollar kena kuat. Faham? The day before, the month before and everything, you dah start playing with marketing a bit more, spending a bit more, so that when in Ramadan comes, you're able to hit a higher amount. Okay, sama juga for you in fashion, Atika. Okay, those of you, you know your months, which month of the year yang memang kuat untuk you. The month before, campak duit. Okay, so ini kena gunakan taktik. Alright, so but today the understanding is when you know your numbers, when you know your profitability and everything, you know your break even, then you can make sure at the end of the day every month you ada profit. So kalau you tanya ini okay ke tak, to me tak okay. Okay, I will tell you tak okay sebab I nak nampak net profit at every month kena ada profit. Pasal apa? I ask all of you here. You nak every month dapat gaji tak? Siapa tak nak? Siapa nak? Nak angkat tangan? Silakan. Kan? Siapa tak nak? Okay, put down your hand, no problem. Nanti I doakan. Cik jahat sih. Okay, I doakan all of you dapat. Okay, so every month kena dapat gaji, betul tak? Maknanya every month kena ada profit. Okay, now you as a business owner, you nak tak every year, end of the year, every one of you dapat pergi umrah? Nak tak? Siapa nak angkat tangan? Nak pergi umrah tak? Kalau you nak pergi umrah every year, must make sure every month dapat profit, end of the year dapat a big profit. Baru you boleh pergi. Betul tak? Now that's the way it should be done. Alright? Can it be done? Definitely it can be done. InsyaAllah. Okay? Remember your business always tell you the story from the numbers it generates. This is one such example. Okay? Alright? Okay. Any questions for this slide? Anyone? You guys okay? Boleh? Silakan.
Ini real punya ni real apa? Situation punya
Yes.
info je. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Tu je.
Alright. Okay, let's go to the next one. Come, jom. Okay, so some of the things I want you to also pick up from here is your percentages. You basically, you basically know how to actually look at numbers. Don't just look at it absolutely. Must look at it as a percentage. Then you understand. Okay. Also understand about trends and seasonality. Kan tadi I mentioned to you some of the months you'll be better for you for your business. So when you know that already, make sure you make the best out of those months. All right. Okay. Now, sources of income or sales. Is it better to run a business with only one source of income or multiple? I would say multiple, but not too many. Okay, not too many. Maknanya, if you're doing F&B, you ada jual makanan, cook food. You ada jual, okay, for example, cook food yang goreng-goreng. Ada cook food yang assembly, maknanya nasi, taruh ayam, taruh juga, that's assembly. Yang goreng-goreng tu kena masak. Okay, so masak punya satu, assembly punya satu. Mungkin ada yang tak biar assembly, cuma kena apa? Kena letak aja or something like that. Faham tak? Macam you kena just packet it into plastic and you can just jual. So that is a different source of income. Semuanya sales, semuanya makanan, tapi cara pembuatannya tu is depends. Okay, so if you can have a spread, will be better. Okay. Alright, and then cost of goods sold. Cost of goods sold, what you need to know is that you need to be able to reduce your cost for all the food items that you jual, for all your if you're doing services, for all your direct costs, your human costs and everything, try to optimize it as far as possible. Okay, so for those of you in service industry, I think it's no secret right now a lot of service providers, they are also subcontracting their services out of the country, right? Because they want to reduce their cost. Okay, if it makes sense for you to do, please do it. Okay, just for you to know, this is something that I do also, right? Because we have no choice. Inshallah. Okay, you do what is needed for you to be able to run your business. Okay, net income dah tahu, dah understand pasal net income tadi, and sales pun kita dah faham tadi. Okay, alright. Any of these things here that you need me to say anything more about, silakan. Kalau ada nak tanya, silakan. Kalau tidak, I will go. Ada tak? You all okay? Boleh ya? Alright. Okay, Chun, let's go to the next one. Okay, so on the topic of cash flow, you boleh do your sales, you boleh do your business, you can run, you can make profit and everything, but you need to know this part, which is penjagaan you punya cash, because then you'll be able to run a business very, very efficiently, and duit you tak lari macam orang buka tab. Kita nak buka kasi dia keluar dia slowly. Nak masuk cepat-cepat, nak masuk dengan power, tapi nak keluar kena pelan-pelan sikit. Okay, so these are the how many 7 elements right, that you need to have in every business sebenarnya. Okay, I'll go through with you each and every one of them a little bit, right, and then you take whatever notes that you need from each of these lah. Alright, let's look at the first one, digital accounting system. Okay, why you need to actually have a digital accounting system is because of these few things. Okay, bookkeeping is the very basic part. So kalau you tak buat a proper bookkeeping in an accounting system, and especially if it's digital, it doesn't allow you to do other stuff. Like for example, later on doing data mining and predictions. Okay, to be frank, actually in finance, you're able to predict duit masuk bila, what kind of cash flow yang you dapat. But in order for you to actually to do this and to use all these apps, use a digital accounting system first. It will help you a lot. Okay, and all this invoicing and all that, buat dalam sana juga. Right, try to use it terus. Use the system so that you are able to actually see your things in real time. Okay, and bila you enter these things inside the system, you kena make sure you letak date yang betul. For example, Brother Asar, you dapat satu document from say ABSS, from one of your supplier lah. Okay, one of your supplier yang hantar you beras. Okay, dia kasih you bill, ada date of the bill, ada when is the due date. Betul? Alright, most of the time because Abang Asar beli dengan dia banyak. Okay, dia tak akan suruh Brother Asar bayar dia straight away on the spot. Dia kasih dia 14 days credit ke 30 days credit. Betul? Ada? Ada. So bila you masukkan this document into the system, you kena make sure that the date of the invoice yang you dapat tu, you letak the date of the invoice. Tapi you also enter the date bila you kena bayar this thing. That is the due date. Usually it's 40 days ke 30 days. Why? Because with a proper digital accounting system, you are able to track by when you need money. Okay, I repeat again. You'll be able to tell by when you need money. That is called cash requirements. Okay, so you know over the next 1 month, by certain date nak keluar duit, by certain date nak keluar duit, by certain date nak keluar duit. So you know how to plan in advance. Okay, so tell your accounting staff, make sure this is done properly. Alright, and this thing about process versus data entry, dulu kita punya parents datang, banyak benda is done by data entry. Okay, sekarang bila kita run business, kalau boleh jangan buat data entry, it's a waste of time. So you masuk your process flow into the accounting system. Terus, maknanya macam Shanan, he goes inside the system, he straight away raise his invoice. Habis cerita, habis, done. Okay, macam Madam Moni, dia masuk dalam sistem, tu dia buat payment. Done. Jadi the whole thing is done. Dia tak payah nanti dah buat, dah tulis-tulis check semua. Nanti 1 week later ke 2 months later ke, ada satu dia punya staff nak kena enter, that's called data entry. That's a waste of time. Okay, kita buat cara yang baik. Alright. Online digital invoicing adalah invoice yang boleh dihantar kepada you punya customer melalui internet, melalui email, without you having to go and print out the invoice, sign the invoice, put into an envelope, hantar via post. Okay, that is faster. At the same time, you can track when this invoice is actually being opened, when is it being read, okay, and when is the probability of you getting payment for it. Can? Okay. We try to do things well, inshallah. And last but not least, okay, this is something which I think next year probably, or the year after that, more and more businesses will go into this data mining and predictions. Okay, Shannon pun dah ambil Google Analytics certification kan Shannon, betul? Okay, don't play ya. Nanti Shannon kena ajar kita nanti insyaAllah. So, with a proper accounting system, you're able to do a bit more data mining, a bit more predictions, and you can tell where your business is heading. Sama ada you're on the right track ke tidak. Okay, so this will help you lah insyaAllah. Alright. Okay, I'll go on to the next page insyaAllah. Next will be on online banking. Okay, under topic of cash flow, online banking. Okay, please do something so that you can check your account frequently. Sama macam kita solat 5 kali satu hari, right? Because kita maintain kita punya relationship dengan Allah Ta'ala. Sama juga, I want you to please check your bank account often. I want you to see, sebab bila you tengok every time, then you ada this sense of pride, this sense of semangat nak berkobar-kobar sikit ke apa benda ke, for you to track your numbers so that you can make your bank balance better. Kalau you tengok once a month aja, atau kalau you tak tengok, kan, you will not actually really care about it lah. That's it. Okay, and at the same time pun, I want you to be more aware of the amount so that you don't go and overspend. Kan sekarang hati yang terasa, aku nak beli tu bag tu, nampak semalam YSL lawa, nampak ada dah senyum, rasa dia nak beli tau. Okay, nak beli tu bag lawa dah dengan Mustafa. Kan kali ni semua cakap, wait, I open the bank account first, I check. Alamak, I think better do dah. Terima kasih pun sedih. Tapi that's the right way of doing things. So sorry, brother. Okay, the right way is to always check your bank account. Okay, don't do anything on a whim. And if you can, integrate your bank account with your accounting system. So you tak payah susah-susah nak pergi check. You buka aja your account sudah ada kat dalam. Boleh? All of this is possible. Okay. So get onto a bank account which has this, then you should be fine. Boleh? Simple stuff. Alright. Let's see what else we have. The cash flow. Collection methods. Now, okay, you nampak I pangkar checks tu. Okay. I pangkar checks. I pangkar cash. Kan? Hawa, kenapa hawa? Why am I so like that? Why I don't want check? Why I don't want cash? Teruk fast. Tell me, why am I like that? Any idea?
The one, maybe checks takes time.
Yeah.
And there's a chance of bounce and everything. And then cash may be more difficult to track.
Okay, alright. Aku tanya Hawa, kali Farzana terjawab. Tapi tak apa, insyaAllah.
Sorry. I'm doing things at the same time. So I hear questions, I thought kena jawab.
No worries. Alhamdulillah. I'm just thank you very much, Farzana. How about Hawa, ada anything to add on tak?
I think like what Kak Farzana said lah, cash ada danger sikit sebab once we tend to spend it faster. Kalau masuk bank tu kadang-kadang termalas sikit nak belanja kan. So, yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you both of you. So kalau boleh checks and cash, kalau boleh avoid, because cash ada cost of compliance. Maknanya you nak masuk ke dalam bank lagi is a cost, your time cost, right? Betul tak? Wouldn't you be better for Mr. Musafa example? Dia dekat dalam kitchen, he makes money. Dia kalau pergi bank, he doesn't make money. It's better for him to be in the kitchen, example lah. Okay, alright. So kita stick to what's important. Online bank transfer, bagus. Singapore system is good, it's clean insyaAllah. Merchant solutions like nets, kalau you in retail, you ada jual anything kat kedai, please make sure that you are the nets. Please make sure you are the third party solutions like Visa and Stripe and all that. Kerana I want you to make sure you mudahkan untuk customer bayar you. Okay, don't be so old school. Alamak, nanti kena 4% dah, nanti kena 3% dah. Please Please 3% ke 4%, lagi baik you bayar daripada you nak save the money, right? You tak dapat duit. Faham tak? Orang datang kat kedai you, kan, datang kat Abu Mubarak, dia tengok, wah, dia punya semangat dah keluar dah. Aku nak beli semua kat sini. Aku nak beli platter ni, ribs lah, aku nak beli tu, nak beli 5 macam barang. Kalau dia cakap, okay madam, how to buy this, this. You pun dah happy dia nak beli, dia pun happy dia nak makan. Kali dia tanya, madam, sorry you can take check right, you can take credit card right? Oh sorry we only take cash. Alamak, faham tak? Kita check wallet dia, I only got $50. Why can I buy $50? Oh can. Rice and half a chicken. Pak, sedih tak? There is a loss of opportunity. Don't do that. Okay, mudahkan segala-galanya. Alright, make it easy, fast and traceable. maknanya to make sure that whatever solution you use, they must be able to give you a statement, or you must be able to check it, because human make mistake. All these electronic services pun sometimes make mistake juga. Okay, so you must be able to check it. Alright, so they must give you a platform to check. Boleh? Remember guys, give as many solutions as possible. Alright, okay, and if you're running online, like Hafiza and Hanan and everything semua, make sure ada Stripe, make sure ada PayPal. Kalau you nak masukkan lagi Hula and all that, lagi bagus. Okay, right? Because they can buy more from you. Dia nak beri $100, dia niat, tapi dia nampak ada Hula, bayar $100 times 3 pun okay juga. So dia beli 300, nampak? Kan? Some of you are smiling. I know you all think like that, right? Okay, good. Okay, let's go to the next page. Nampaknya Syahid dah macam itu, Syahid. Okay, jom. Okay, so streamline handling receivables, just for you to take note. These are basically statements of accounts telling people to pay you. So for those of you who are doing service, ada class and everything semua, right? You do classes and all that. You don't collect cash up front, you do collect payment immediately. Statement of accounts are very important. Okay, importantly, you must be sending out reminders to people and everything. So kalau you gunakan a digital accounting software, these things are done automatically. Things like an embedded link to the invoice, the PDF of the invoice can be sent together, right? These things can be done. So kalau boleh, try to kill as many birds with one stone, right? And last but not least, on the topic of problematic collections, kalau you buat service, kalau you jual benda on credit, sometimes ada orang bayar you lambat, kan? Betul tak? So the question is, what do you do? Aisyah, should I ask Aisyah? Aisyah garang tau. What you should do, Aisyah, kalau problematic collections?
Send for
sorry, boleh repeat one more time?
Reminder, and then first when you send the invoice, you state a due date. But if let's say almost not reaching the due date, you ask for a reminder. And then after that, kalau let's say dah habis due date pun, you try to send another one. Then otherwise, tak tahu, give a compound ke apa ke.
Okay, super. Thank you very much. Okay, guys, if you're doing invoicing to people, okay, just take note inside your invoicing, please letak some terms and conditions. Okay, one of which you must say, kalau nak, okay, some people are not agreeable with this, it's okay, I just cakap je. Kalau nak, you boleh letak, you will impose a certain financing charge. Okay, jangan letak interest lah. Suppose to interest lah, nanti kena ribat, nanti kena dus-dus lebih-lebih. So letaklah finance charge. Okay, terminologi itu important juga. So letak finance charge, kan, either percentage ke amount ke seperti lah. Okay, bukan kerana you nak this amount, but so that you prevent them from actually wasting your time. Okay, at the same time pun, develop a system, maknanya tak bayar by certain date, the next step apa, chase by that demand letter ke, then the next step apa, either you want a lawyer's letter ke, next stage apa, pergi, go to court, go to small claims tribunal, for example. So you kena ada satu system for it. Jangan tak ada system. Kalau you tak ada system, orang will take advantage of you. Okay, alright, take care, Dr. Madid, no worries. Okay, so this is very, very important. Make sure you have a system. Okay, next. Okay, another thing I want you all to do also for your business is to have dedicated pay run cycles. So ni apa kita dah? Dedicated pay run cycles maknanya jangan hari-hari bayar orang. Kita nak hari-hari collect duit, tapi tak nak hari-hari bayar orang. Faham? Understand guys? Okay, kita nak hari-hari collect duit. Kalau boleh every hour of the day kita nak collect duit. Kita nak senyum je. Tapi bila kita bayar tu kita kena ikut timing. Okay, so ikut timing ni maknanya adalah kalau your business is big, do it 7 days or 10 days. Business you is average, insyaAllah 10 days, 15 days. Business you is still small, 15 days, 30 days. So jangan keluarkan duit all the time, every day jangan. Okay, lagi lama duit tu boleh stay dalam your bank account lagi bagus. Siapa cakap lagi bagus? Bank cakap lagi bagus. Okay, sebab apa? Your average available punya cash in your bank statement will indicate down there that you pandai pegang duit. Okay, I tanya you tadi, Shamir cakap pasal bank loan and everything, right? You rasa bank-bank nak kasih you pinjam duit pasal you pandai spend duit ke pandai simpan duit? Tahu tak? Okay, kalau you pandai simpan duit, maknanya you're a prudent person, your business is good, they are more than happy to give you more money. Kalau your business tak bagus, dah tinggal $2 inside, they will not give you. Okay, so again on that part pun was one quick thing to touch on, take loan before you need it. Okay, jangan tunggu bila perlu baru nak cari, at that point in time tak ada nak kasih. Bila you tengah happy, duit ada, you tengah kaya, you pergi ambil loan dulu. Okay, that's how it's supposed to be done. Okay, next. Okay, credit assessment. Nice. This is for those of you who raise invoices, right? Please bila you dapat klien baru, you tengok orang impressive, dengan dia senyum-senyum, kata-kata dia manis-manis, kan, datang kat office, dia tak salah view, dia peluk you sekali, cium you sekali. Jangan terus you kasih credit rating best-best. Okay, minta dulu dengan financial statements. Lisa, jangan peluk-peluk Lisa. Pelan-pelan. Okay, minta credit. Like Lisa tak payah pun. But for those of you who are raising invoices lah, okay, make sure you check dia credit dulu. Diorang okay tak? Can get credit from you nak? Pasal ni you yang nak kasih. Right? Okay, what do you ask for? Can I ask, how many of you actually do this already for your business? Credit assessment. What have you done this for your business? Yang raise invoice, ada tak? Ni apa tu tanya Farzana. Farzana, come. This is the best time for you to tell us. What do you do to check credit assessment?
For the clients?
Yes.
First thing I will look out for dia punya how long they've been in business and who are their other clients.
Okay.
Then for me, apart from that, normally for a start, I do not offer any credit terms lah. We will normally say maybe after like 2-3 months, then we can consider. Because especially since I'm dealing with food and even our suppliers pun jarang kasih terms. So I will use that. Okay,
nice. Now we're going into recovery. Thank you, Farzana. We're going to recovery. So I want you to make sure you know this total very well. Please take your pen, tulis benda ni the things that you need to do for due diligence when you want to give assessment, you want to give credit to any customer. Number 1, minta company profile on Accra. Company profile on Accra. Okay, that's the first one. When you dapat dokumen ni, you kena check sama ada business dia, all the income financial statements are all up to date. Orang yang compliant, company yang compliant, kan, orang usually don't jaga benda ni properly. Okay, so that one must check. Last accounts file must be recent, not more than a year ago. Then you go down to share capital, they should not have less than $50,000 inside. Anything less than that, like $2 ke apa, jangan buang masa. Boleh? Jangan buang masa. Then you go to shareholders part. Tengok shareholder siapa. Kalau shareholder the company dekat Panama ke apa ke, itu please lah. Pun tak payah juga. Okay, kalau if it's a person, Singaporean, okay, safer sikit. Boleh? Alright? Okay, that's first thing. That's company profile. Second thing, minta dia the latest management accounts and the latest audited or unaudited financial statements. Okay? Alright, this is for you to actually see. You can always have a conversation with me. First, tengokkan benda ni okay ke tak okay kalau nak kasih kredit. Nanti I tengok, I will tell you. Okay? And last but not least, item number 3, you can ask for the latest 3 months bank statements. Okay? Now I tanya you
We can ask them that.
Can, boleh. You kena berani aja.
Macam very sensitive to ask this kind of things.
Memang sensitif, tapi you kena tembak, you kena berani sikit. Pasal bila you nak, bila you nak are being assessed by say ST Engineering to provide for dorang punya vessel, you rasa dorang takkan tanya you these things ke? Nanti surat beranak pun dia minta juga. Okay, so my point is you go and ask. Jangan takut. Alright, do full assessment. Okay? Alright, so mana yang dah past client yang dah lama-lama dah, you dah kenal orang, you boleh kasih orang chance sikit. Tapi every 3 years, do a review. Okay, do a review because you do not know whether they are in the same situation or better. Right? Okay, boleh? Simple kan? Boleh understand Let's go to the next page. Jom. Okay, get great bank relationship for cash flow. This is important because you want to maintain a certain degree of friendship with the bank. Okay, kalau bank suka dengan you, senang. Apa-apa you nak in future, you tak payah minta, diorang yang tanya you. Okay, instead of you telefon bank, hi, can I get a bank loan? Diorang akan call you, Madam Moni, hi, how are you? Wow, so nice to hear your voice. You want or not? I give you $100,000. Yun, macam itu. Walaupun you tak nak, you nak dengar macam itu. Okay, alright? Nampak Madam Moni senyum je. Pasal dia selalu kena macam itu. Okay, so that is a great bad relationship yang kita nak. So make sure all your trade transactions are inside the bank account. Maknanya, kalau for example Atika buat satu sale kat dalam kedai, Turi Muslimah, kan? Okay, dia buat satu sale gila-gila. Alright? So dia ada A-Train punya sale kat bawah, dia ada shop sale. Tapi Atika cakap dengan dia punya staff semua, yang A-Train punya sale, duit dia, itu masuk poket I. Yang masuk bank account. Okay, yang sale kedai tu masuk dalam bank account. Boleh tak Atika?
Because you don't want the bank to see, is it?
Yeah. Pasal apa kalau you sale extra tu kira masuk bawah matalah kan. Tapi tak boleh, Atika tak boleh. Okay, semua sale masuk dalam bank account. Okay, the more all the transactions go into the bank account, this is going to be your accountability. Okay, it will actually add on to your financial worthiness. Okay, so put everything into the bank account. Jangan dah belanja lain-lain benda baru you masukkan, tak. Apa yang collect semua masuk dulu. Besok baru you beli belanja. Okay, loan repayment due dates. Those of you yang ada bank loan ke, ada hire purchase ke, ada leasing and all this kind of stuff, make sure you bayar the day before the due dates. Okay, the due date 14, tadi I mention tadi, ingat tak I mention tu Abang Asar, right? Okay, supplier hantar bill, masuk the date of the bill, masuk the date of the due date. Okay, bayar the day before or 2 days before. Biasakan buat benda macam ni. Okay, bounce checks, jangan ada bounce check. So pendek kata kan, jangan gunakan check lah. Okay, jangan gunakan check. Okay, kalau terpaksa pun make sure you ada duit dan you keluarkan check. Kenapa? Why is it so scary? Anybody here yang zaman-zaman check tak? Boleh share with me tak? Kenapa I cakap bounce check ni satu benda yang so irritating? Kenapa? Kalau boleh jangan gunakan check. Aku rasa Shannon one of the zaman-zaman check juga. Shannon, share sikit Shannon.
Aku tak. Aku baru 5 tahun. Tak tahu lah.
Kau masih 26 years old lah bro?
Tu lah.
Oh, Masya Allah, Masya Allah.
Check,
Okay, aku tanya.
receive check ke hantar check bang?
No, tulis check.
Tulis check, tulis check. Itulah, asyik salah tulis, asyik nak kena rewrite. Asyik klien cakap salah, date salah. So banyak pening, especially bila tak ada admin dulu kan.
Betul. So example kalau Shannon keluarkan pay satu payment lah, pay example pay to me lah. Okay, $20. You give me the check. Betul tak Shannon? I dah terima Will you ingat I dah tulis check, I dah kasih fast, maknanya duit dah keluar lah. Tapi sebenarnya duit keluar tak? Tak kan? Duit dia keluar bila I masuk check ni kat dalam bank. Betul tak? Kalau I terlupa, I simpan kat dalam wallet, I jadikan satu tanda penghormatan kat dalam wallet I. Okay, 5 months later baru teringat, ya lama aku tak bank in lah. Then baru I pergi bank in. Betul tak? I baru pergi bank in. Then what happened? Suddenly Shannon punya bank account tak cukup duit. Itulah dia bounce check. Okay? Because Shannon tak bayar $20. Actually dia bayar $20,000. Masya Allah. Right? So lagi perit. Okay? So guys, make sure kalau boleh jangan guna check lah. Jangan habis cerita. Okay? Because it's your responsibility to make sure that the check is clear. Okay? How to be responsible? You can't because it depends on the person who's clearing it. It's not within your control. Okay? Kalau you gunakan online payment, you tekan pay, habis duit dah keluar dah. Okay? Okay, last. Avoid dodgy deals. Ashura, apakah benda ni dodgy deals? Ashura selalu buat dodgy deals. Cik. boleh share tak? What do you think, Lisa?
Dodgy deals with the banks, you mean? Don't know lah, clueless.
Okay, no worries. Anybody boleh share? Siapa tahu tak apa tu dodgy deals? Thank you, Ashura. Ada, tak ada?
Those that's first thing is not by the proper regulations, and there's no proper black and white, and things are not signed properly, no witness and all this stuff.
Okay. Dia macam ni tau.
Experience.
Experience betul. Ya. So ini
Under table?
Under table macam mana? Silakan. Explain sikit.
Under table lah, like you give me your contract, I give you something like that lah. Some money.
Okay, so I explain to you sebenarnya dia very simple. Dia macam ni tau. Someone approach Farzana, usually overseas person lah. So dia bilang, Farzana, I want to make one deal with you, okay? I transfer 1.5 million into your bank account. Into your company bank account. Alright. Then after 3 weeks, you pay me back 1.45 million. The difference is yours. Cannot. Ada tak orang pernah kena macam ni?
That can boleh kena macam money laundering punya case kan?
Yes, exactly. So kalau you dengar benda macam ni, jangan buat, please. Okay, specifically
I pernah kena.
Okay, boleh share sikit?
Dah masuk dalam lockup pun.
Serius
Yeah, it was in 2014. Pasal best dapat duit free. Yeah, but it was more of a job deals lah, like helping. Pasal dia macam very legit lah, dia kasih statement, kasih WhatsApp, dia punya address, IC. But my mistake was I actually gave my IC to that guy lah. So first dia macam bagi test dulu, dia bagi 1,000, and then he said that he gave 100. He asked me to keep 10%, which is $10 lah. And then after that macam dah trust sikit, after few days dia extend lagi banyak, end up became 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Every 10% simpan. So dari sedap, then whatever extra income pakai, and knowing that lama-lama macam this thing is macam tak betul lah. But because of the duit haram tu, rasa macam boleh bayar benda-benda lain, it keeps on going until after 3 months, Commercial Affairs Department, SPF call and say ada illegal transaction, they need to freeze account. So they check lah, then straight away kena pergi Ang-Mo-Kio HQ, polis, kau kena cekik rabak punya. So but that was the starting of mass money laundering in Singapore lah, more to POSB. Yeah, so it was a bad experience, but also a good experience to know this thing is happening until now. Yeah.
I just shared with Shannon today, my father-in-law kena total 69,000.
Dia masuk ke dia keluar? Dia masuk ke dia keluar?
First masuk, nak masukkan 18,000 konon, but they ask him to go online, and that means this person yang duit dia keluar is something like what Salman did. So it's transferred to some Chinese guy with a UOB account in Singapore.
Yeah, so apparently if they give their particulars, belakang ada ICN, address. Actually, I went to the person house and check. Yang tinggal bukan orang sana, orang lain pun. So from there, you know it's a scam already. Yeah, so end up this money laundering is very serious So and it's usually happen Malaysian, China, Philippines, like Nigerian scam. Yeah, tapi kirakan whatever thing happen, importantly the police told me to simpan proof of the WhatsApp. Then it will save you from the lockup. But so if not, minimum charge of cheating is 3 months masuk jail.
Okay, alright. Thank you very much for sharing, Salman. Mashallah. Okay, these are the ones yang happen in Singapore. But I just show you the ones yang happen overseas lagi dahsyat. Okay, the ones yang happen overseas, you can tell lah, it's actually from certain countries yang ada banyak benda ni. Sebab I takkan sebut sebab I tak nak be, I don't want to be discriminatory, but I can just tell you banyak overseas transactions. So kalau boleh avoid all these things. Okay, you tahu you tak earn that money, jangan ambil. Alas. Alright, okay, jom next. Okay, financial quality management. This is where you actually make your business and yourself lagi sexy, lagi financially sexy lah in that sense. Okay, so we're talking about building a financial profile, okay, being more bankable, okay, increasing the value of the business, and last but not least about investments. Kita akan touch a little bit on this. Okay, Come, let's have a look. Okay, financial profile. You need to know this important stuff. Your company has its own financial profile and it has its own corporate profile. So you kena jaga ni dua-dua. Corporate profile maknanya apa yang nampak kat akra, okay, is very important. Must make sure that you maintain this. Right? So make sure compliance and everything, your last AGM, blah, blah, semua all done. Okay, and jangan ada $2 share capital, naik lagi sikit. Along the way. You can start with $2, no issue. Tapi along the way, talk to me, okay, increase it. Right? Your credit consumer bureau report yang tadi Shannon tunjuk tu, Shamir tunjuk. Okay, that is something very, very important for you to take note and to monitor over time. Okay. Yang kelakarnya pun jangan download you punya report banyak-banyak kali dalam setahun. Not more than 3 times. Kalau minta banyak kali, bank pun akan takut juga. Akan orang. So with this report in hand, you go and see your apa tu, financial punya rating. Okay, try to improve it. Go for AA. Okay, go for AA. For those of you who baru nak start worrying about all this kind of stuff, let me know. I will share with you nanti how to actually make sure that you improve lah. Kalau you sekarang kat BB ke CC, kita naikkan kepada AA. Okay, why? Pasal the bottom part tu, okay, you are the owner, you are the director of the company. If you are the director of the company, you will be guaranteeing loans under the company. So you nak kena make sure you sihat. You punya financial punya reports are actually very good, personal. Okay, alright, then you can do macam-macam benda you boleh buat. Alright, okay, let's see the next page. Okay, so this is an example. Okay, you can go to Consumer Bureau to go and download yours. You can go and purchase. Okay, this is an example lah. Tadi pun Shamir dah tunjuk. So dia Shannon, aku rindu kau Shannon. Saya sebut nama kau je. Okay, so yeah, you can actually read your own. I think it's important for you to read it. Okay, for you to understand, right? And yeah, for you to actually improve it over time. Okay, go for AA. Kalau tak boleh baru BB. Okay, tapi kalau boleh lah go for AA. Anybody here knows your credit bureau report? Your rating berapa? Tahu tak? Aisyah, silakan. AA plus.
Tak lah, last year IBB lah pasal I tak ada credit card terus. Sebab takut tak pegang credit card. Sekali.
Tak boleh takut.
Ya, that's why jadi tahun ni baru start pakai credit card lah.
Kalau you tengok
achieve AA.
Kalau you tengok Haikal punya show puaka kan, nanti kan dia punya show puaka tu nanti bila habis sudah cakap takut hanya kepada Allah bukan kepada mereka. Okay, so you takut dengan Allah je, jangan takut credit card pun. Okay, betul lah Haikal? Tak apa, kita panjat sekejap. Betul that's very important. Betul. So kalau you nak tengok my wallet, mesti ada banyak credit card. Gunakan the credit card, jangan takut. Gunakan tapi kena bayar. Okay, jangan tak bayar. Jangan gunakan dan after you tak tahu macam nak bayar, jangan. So jangan ikut nafsu. Gunakan based on what you normally spend. Okay? What you normally spend.
Mr. Fas, sorry actually nak tanya sikit lah regarding credit card. Is it wise, like for example, because credit card kan ada yearly payment, right? And so let's say some says like after 1 year, once you need to start making payment, you close and you open another new one. Is that advisable or what do you suggest?
Okay. I nak bilang you this I nak kira sekejap. Inside my wallet sekarang ni, this wallet lah, I ada 11 credit card. Okay, guess berapa I bayar every year?
RM1.50.
RM2.50 Masya Allah. How? Anyone?
11 ya Allah.
Zero.
Siapa cakap zero? Hafiza
Zero.
Yeah, zero. I pay zero for it. Okay, the whole idea is go and spend using it. Jangan spend nafsu tau. Spend apa yang you perlu, yang you normally spend. That's it. Okay, kerana you confident you boleh bayar. Kalau you nafsu, maknanya you nampak, aku ada credit card ni. Aku punya credit ni banyak ni. Then you start, nanti otak start lari. Kan? Nanti bag yang tak perlu pun you nak beli. Kan? Nanti kereta punya accessory lah, nak tukar tayar lah, apa benda, beli repair semua you nak buat. Nak beli basikal baru lah, apa benda. Betul lah Syahid terasa dia, sorry. Okay, so the point is, jangan berikut nafsu. Spend on what you need saja. Then you bayar. Okay? Bila you banyak accumulated spending in your credit card, bank tahu yang you are basically okay, no issue. There's no need for them to collect the money from you. Kalau you kena charge phone, you boleh call je. Hey, hi, I got 4 cards under UOB. You charge me berapa, $600 this year. Can you please waive? Setuju. Sekarang dah tak payah call Wansha. You call the number je, to request for waiver of annual card fee. Press 4. You kan tekan 4 je lah. Kan? They will tell you by SMS. Can?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Anyway, for those of you young ladies, try to take the ni lah, ladies cards. Ada banyak benefit you boleh gunakan. Spa lah apa benda semua kan. Yang you suka, silakan enjoy. Okay. Alright. Okay, jom. Let's go to the next page. Bankability. Okay. For you to think about bankability is basically how well or how okay you are in the eyes of the bank. Okay. Just some key points for you to consider. When to take loans. Okay, as I mentioned just now, take loan before you need it or take loan when you don't need it. Okay, that's the reason why I mentioned selalu lah cakap benda ni, you tak payahlah ambil loan, tapi sekarang ni you pergi ambil lah. Nanti betul, betul kan? The reason is because you tak perlu, you ambil, you boleh bayar anytime. Kalau you tengah perlu, you nak ambil susah. Okay, so for those of you, especially those of you running private limited, and your numbers are okay, you can let me have a look also if you like. Your numbers are okay, if you can take loan, go and take loan. Okay, kalau you tak pakai, bayar balik je from that money itself. Okay, if you can generate more money, then generate more money from it, no issue. Okay, think about your scaling cost. Okay, kalau you ada cost yang you perlukan, you nak beli baru equipment and stuff like that, you can go and take a loan, no issue. Okay, where to get loans? Obviously not the scary people lah. Jangan you pergi ambil dengan orang-orang yang scary yang tuang chat and everything lah. Go from the bank direct sudah. Okay, if you can go from the bank direct, go from the bank direct. Tak payah go through agent pun tak payah, not important. Okay, alright, okay, do that first. Alright, the don'ts of company loans. Do not take a loan to go and pay another loan. Faham? Sekarang you ada hutang satu lawan company loan. So you take another loan to bayar that loan. Jangan. That's not nice actually sebenarnya. Okay, unless it's a part of social strategy, kalau tidak jangan. Okay, don't take loan, company loan to go and pay something untuk rumah sendiri. Maknanya you ambil company loan, then you pergi renovate rumah lawa-lawa. Jangan buat. Okay. Ada juga yang buat macam ni. Okay, don't take bank loan and then you pergi beli kereta ke apa semua, jangan. Okay, because the interest rates are different. Kalau you nak renovate rumah, ambil renovation loan. Kalau you nak beli kereta, bukan take a car loan. Okay, the interest is different. Boleh? Alright. How to budget to repay the loans? Okay, remember tadi I showed you the P&L kan? The P&L that is actually based on profit and loss. Okay, bawah ada tu, you ubah sikit, masukkan your actual cash flow yang masuk dengan keluar. Okay, so based on your profit, this is the actual money that comes in. Now you have your actual cash punya transactions. From there, you kena minus out your loan yang you kena bayar. Understand? Okay, so that it becomes very real for you. You tahu exactly where you stand. Okay, so you must make profit every month. It must be in cash. It must be able to pay all the loans because loan is not an expense. Okay, factors consider, last but not least, factors consider kalau nak beli loan ke tak. Kan, kalau nak your bankability. Okay, don't think about today, think about tomorrow. Okay, this is very important. So for example, if your business is okay, sekarang tengah okay, you tengah comfortable, maknanya you tengah dalam comfort zone, okay, you will not need anything one. Tapi remember kita never plan for COVID. Okay, macam mana juga kita tak plan for so many things, these things happen. Correct? Betul tak? Tiba-tiba berlaku. So think about tomorrow. So kalau tomorrow something happen, ada tak duit? Okay, so at the same way juga, try to think about yourself. Kalau besok you tak ada, business you boleh jalan tak? Okay, so tadi kan kita Shamir mention regarding the key person in the company, right? So kalau sekarang business you is you and you. Okay, the bank tengok lama is only 1% aja. Tiba-tiba kalau dia tak ada, macam mana boleh bayar loan tak? Tak boleh bayar loan. So seram sikit. So then you have to make sure that you develop a team. So you all remember, I selalu cakap, go and develop your team. Go and naikkan your people, make sure you're the second person in command. Jangan nak shoot sendiri, buat bisnes sendiri saja. Okay, because at that moment when you need the company loan ke, you need whatever it is, you tak boleh. Pasal apa? You are already getting old. Kita semua akan get old, right? Right? You will not be able to get a loan so easily. So make sure you are the next team. Okay, Aisyah next team, Aisyah. Lisa next team, Abang Asa. Kita pun dah discuss pasal benda ni baru semalam, right? Make sure your next team coming up. Okay? Madam Muni memang dah on track dah. Next team coming up already. Okay? So let's do this properly, guys. Alright, okay, next. Value of your business. Track record. Okay, track record maknanya apa? Make sure that all of your financial information in the past ada. Your income statement, your balance sheet, blah, 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 semua ada. Because this is what you need to prove. Okay, key man, the same thing yang tadi mention, jangan harapkan you saja. Make sure you ada additional people, there's business continuity. Tetapi, you pay key man. Kalau Aisyah is the main person in the business, kita pada key man, key woman, key pun still key man juga. So, jangan segan Aisyah. So, kalau you key man, make sure you kena cover diri you. If anything happen to you, there is an insurance that covers you. Okay, Madam Murni, Aisyah, all of you lah, all important. VIP di kat depan muka ni. Make sure cover yourself with key man insurance. Kalau anything happen to you, you dah tak ada, insurance bayar, jadi you punya business boleh continue. Orang lain boleh continue kan. Okay, scalability. Here, if your business is a very simple traditional business, dia tak boleh scale, dia tak boleh menjadi besar. Tahu? Because of that, your value of your business will be limited. Okay, so kalau for example, okay, macam Hanan dan Hafiza, if you're running the business currently as it is, without an online presence, your business is not as scalable. If you run as it is without developing your own curriculum program, which you can then sell or implement or give a rights issue to hundreds of other schools, it is still not scalable. Kalau you dah buat all these things, your business is a scalable business. Value you akan naik, meningkat tinggi. Kan? So let's work towards that. Okay? Let's work towards that. Growth. What I'm talking about here, growth is that don't be so worried about macam this year I berapa, next year I berapa, next year berapa. Tengok peningkatan in terms of percentage. Make sure selalu every year ada positive growth. Okay, even 1% a year pun tak apa. It's okay. Tapi tak nak ada turun, nak ada naik je kalau boleh. It's harder than you think guys. It's difficult, okay? Right, nak maintain ni sebenarnya susah. Tapi kalau boleh kita cubalah. We do our best. Okay, we do our best. And last but not least, industry. Certain industry, the value of your business will be slightly higher because of the industry you're in. Okay, but doesn't matter. Whatever industry you dah ada kat dalam tu, you make the best out of it. Jangan kejar industri. Okay, kalau you tak ada kemahiran dalam industri tu, you nak buat pun boleh terlungkup juga. So tak apa. Focus on your strength. Focus on your business yang you buat yang sebaik mungkin insyaAllah. Okay, boleh? Let's go to the next page. Investments. Okay. Nanti insyaAllah, is Afiq here, Afiq? Are you there?
Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi. Kasih muka sikit nampak. Baru kita temannya sikit. Tu pasal lah tak nampak muka handsome. Masya Allah. Okay. Okay, so I ask whether Afiq is here because I am not someone who's going to talk to you about investments. Okay, kalau for me it's going to be something very very simple and basic. Okay, but you nak cakap pasal investment, cakap orang yang mahir. The next session Afiq ada buat open class. If you are in Monsters of the Deep, he will give the class to you free. Tak salah, betul? Afiq? Oh, Afiq.
Betul. I promise you for MOTD Monsters, it's gonna be free.
Okay, fantastic. Tu tadi dia senyap, dia takut juga aku. Ya kan, dah tukar idea Okay, alright. So insyaAllah, go for his course. Sebab he will talk to you about halal investments. Yang cantiknya is halal. And at the same time, he will talk to you about this thing called basket concept. Okay, basket maknanya a few things, not satu. Okay, jangan you beli Tesla je. Beli Tesla dengan lain benda sekali lah. Okay, you talk to you about risk profile. Sama ada you ni okay ke tak okay in terms of your ability to take risk. Okay, and he will suggest apa yang baik according to what you need. Okay, he will talk to you about exit. Jangan cari jalan untuk menjadi kaya atau mendapat sesuatu kalau you tak cari mana macam ni nak keluar. Sedangkan kalau kita kahwin pun, nikah pun ada cara nak keluar. Betul tak? So kalau you buat investment pun, you kena tahu macam mana nak keluar, bila nak keluar. And Afiq will tell you that. Okay? And jangan masuk investment kalau you tak think about the real monetary value of your investment. Maknanya you shock sendiri, you nampak, wah bagus eh. Padahal investment you dah negatif dah. Okay? So he will tell you these concepts. Silakan Afiq. What else do we need to know about these investments? What will we
investment memang actually senang, Abang Fah. Very, very easy actually. We just have to understand number one. The first most important thing, how much time you have. The longer your time horizon, the longer you can hold, lagi jauh you boleh tengok, the more risk you can take. Because then your overall risk will lower. There's a few people in here yang dah attend. So I'm macam nak kacau je test diorang. What did you learn? What do you remember? Should we do that? Nak tanya. Because on my screen nampak Shanan, siapa lagi? Sister Moni. Terus dia off video tengok Shanan. Kak Aisyah ada. Tengok all these people dah attend. Tengok ingat tak the lessons?
Suara pun dah hilang bro.
Am I frozen?
Oh tak, okay.
Kan hilang tak biarkan. Time, how long you want to hold, you can invest lah, please. Paling penting time. InsyaAllah kita semua sini muda-muda, got at least 5, 10, 15 years ahead boleh invest insyaAllah.
Okay, cool. So I really hope those of you, insyaAllah, please, those of you are really interested, you boleh buat benda macam ni, go and talk to Afiq, go for his class, understand the concept betul-betul, baru you buat sesuatu dengan mata yang terbuka, dengan hati yang tenang. Okay? Jadi you tak biar stres. Kalau you buat ikut kawan aja, tu problem. Bila something happen, kawan pun dah jadi hilang. Okay? Okay, boleh? Nanti ikut Afiq, insyaAllah. Okay? Alright, I have full trust and confidence in him. Okay, go to the next one. Jom. Thank you, bro. Okay. Monsters monthly tracking. Okay. So, in order for you to start somewhere lah kan, this is the reason why I've asked one of you to please update your numbers. So, for those of you in the program, every single month you'll be updating your numbers. Kita boleh tengok your growth and everything. Jangan tinggalkan benda ni. Ini sangat-sangat wajib. Okay. Bukan untuk I tengok and terpegun. Tak ada. Okay. It's for you to actually see yourself. Kalau you dah tengok sendiri, you dah faham sendiri, you akan menikmati kelazatannya sendiri insyaAllah. And you nak memperbaiki your business. Kenapa tiba-tiba aku bahasa Melayu ni kuat ni hari ni Tak tahu yang tenang dah tadi macam sikit dah. Nak balik Johor lah agaknya. Okay. Anyway, so you do this betul-betul insyaAllah. It will benefit you. Okay. So definitely will benefit you. Shanan, boleh share sikit tak Shanan? Your thoughts on this. You have been doing this alhamdulillah for a long time, right? So macam mana?
What was your specific question again?
About your monthly tracking, about your numbers and everything. I think you dah buat benda ni dah lama dah. How is it your journey so far?
So my tracking other than the Excel sheet that you gave, I also track closely in the zero system. And of course I've got my outsourced finance to help me. Yeah, so it's good to know, especially cash flow. I think for me at the moment, cash flow is very important because I start selling products already. So I have to really take a look at the cash flow. When I can start stocking, when I cannot, when I need to clear my stocks fast. So that's important for me to track now. Even more important now when I play hardware. So that's why I noticed. That's why I learned over the past 6 months when I started really stocking up. Yeah.
Now with knowing that your numbers kan, bila you go into selling hardware, right? Because it's an investment juga. You need to actually have cash on hand kan. Do you feel a lot more safer, a lot more macam like berani for you to actually do this bila you dah tahu you have your numbers?
Yes, definitely. Because once I know my cash flow, I track my cash flow every week. So I discuss with my finance department every week what I have to pay and how much I have in balance. So I know at the end of the month I got enough to pay everything, and I have balance to buy stock. So that's how I find out. I got enough to buy stock. Yeah.
Awesome, bro, mashallah. Okay, thank you very much, Aran. Let's have a look again Have I left anything out? Belum habis ke apa-apa? Boleh? Thank you, Mira. Okay. The page before that, habis eh?
Yeah.
Okay, can. All right, fantastic. So this is the end of it. Alhamdulillah, okay, boleh unshare. So I think from today's session, inshallah, I think the key thing here is for you to understand your numbers, for you to actually use your numbers to your advantage. Okay, and importantly guys, I nak bilang you something very, very important. Kalau you tak dengar yang tadi I cerita berpanjang ni semua, tak apa. It's okay. Tapi I nak you dengar sekarang betul-betul. Okay, I nak bilang you this thing very, very important. Please dengar. Okay, kalau you run business, jangan run business untuk perut sendiri. Maknanya don't do the business only for yourself. Okay, think of your next generation and your next generation to come. Next generation mana anak-anak you. Your next generation to come maknanya cucu-cucu you. InsyaAllah. Okay, kenapa I say this? Because dulu-dulu kan our ancestors when they run business in Singapore, cara dorang run business, dorang fikir jauh sangat. Dorang fikir dorang punya cucu-cucu yang dorang tak kenal pun. Dan dorang tak imagine siapa pun. Okay, that's the way they run business. Kenapa I say that? Because they actually invest into properties. They actually invest into precious metals. They actually invest into tanah and so on and so forth. Okay, tapi sebaliknya bila kita run business and due to the economic situation, we are not doing enough of that. Kita run business untuk kita. Kita dah buat duit semua, dah cukup dah, dan kita pergi beli kereta best. Kita pergi beli handbag best. Kita beli kasut best. Sorry bukan nak say anything bad but I'm just saying. Maknanya kita only jaga kita punya diri sendiri. So sebaliknya, my message to you is run business betul-betul. Okay, make good numbers, invest in something untuk masa depan. Okay, because then you punya anak-anak akan benefit. You punya cucu cicit yang you tak kenal sekarang mungkin they will also benefit. Then you akan leave a legacy untuk mereka. Okay, and the way to do it is today punya session. Maknanya betul-betul jaga you punya financial your financial profiling, your business makeup financial profiling. Okay, generate enough money, know your break even, be able to make even more money, learn from Afiq how to invest so you have a side income, right? Do this kind of stuff. Okay, kenapa I sebut benda-benda macam ni? Sebab kalau kita tak go and do something for our future, no one else is going to do it. Okay, and at the same time, if we don't run business the right way to do business, okay, then kita akan lost a lot. Pasal the people who are very well versed in business, yang lain-lain other people in the community, dorang will go further than us. Tak salah pun. Okay, I'm just saying kalau boleh, go after it, go and run, go and do your best. Buat sekali, then kita akan meninggal. Tapi kita live our best on this earth before we go. Okay, that is my message to all of you. InsyaAllah. I have clients who are now in their 80s and early 90s. Okay, and my client is sebenarnya bukan dorang. Dorang sebenarnya cucu-cucu of my ultimate client yang I tak kenal. Dorang dah meninggal in 1950. My actual client is someone who has died in 1950. I'm doing a lot of estate punya work. Okay, so I can just share with you that when I see orang-orang dulu in Singapore, the amount of property yang dorang ada run into the hundreds. Hundreds of properties. Kita ada satu, kita dah worry macam mampus. Dorang ada hundreds. Faham tak? But of course tak boleh beza lah. Dorang dulu property satu 12,000. Kita sekarang 1.2 million. Beza, right? Okay. So all I'm saying is kalau you beli satu pun freehold under your name, insyaAllah, do it lah. Okay. Tak kira you nak beli private, commercial ke, nak beli residential ke sekali. Tapi anak you bukakan minda sikit, bukakan hati sikit, biar nak invest into property, nak invest into something for the future. Boleh? Can? Boleh? Let's hear your thoughts on this. Aisyah, how about you? Dah nak beli dah?
Memang dah plan lah insyaAllah. Tengok budget juga. So yeah, I hope. Cuma I confused whether to get my own outlet or factory instead. So itu yang masih tak tahulah. Yeah.
Okay, get both the prices. Nanti kita next one to one kita discuss betul-betul dengan semua sekali. Set?
Okay.
Alright, boleh insyaAllah. How about Shannon? How about you?
At the moment, I don't plan for like what you say lah kan, to hand over down. But at the moment, I'm focused on my retirement. Of course, what I do is I make sure all the bases are covered for my kids. I think that's as much as I do. Property dah ada lah. Itu tu aku lah.
Okay, tak apa. Nanti aku akan piat telinga kau sikit. Kita akan beli lain property. Okay bro? Sebab 5 years ago, ada kawan aku tu nama dia Shannon. Dia dah jual dengan property semua. Dia dah tak payah nak. Dia dah fully repaid. Aku tanya, what's your plan? Aku nak relax je bro.
Relax.
Okay, but unfortunately in Singapore it doesn't work that way bro. Kita nak kena go further. Okay, insyaAllah. Okay.
Neighbor, jangan lupa dengan kita, neighbor.
Okay, how about Mr. Mustafa dan Nora? How about you guys? Any plans? Or what do you think about what I said about about your financial profile and going into property one day or leaving something for your future legacy?
For me, I think the concept of good debt is quite something new because all this while our mindset is macam jangan berhutang kan. Hutang ni macam not a good thing to carry, membebankan. So it's an eye opener or membuka minda juga lah the concept of beli property, take loans and banking because my husband dari dulu tak suka berhutang.
I think sudah maybe salah faham. I think all this now my mind is quite open regarding the loan and the property. So inshallah lah we in the stage of stabilize sekejap. Then maybe I think after certain sell or amount that kita boleh save, then inshallah we could be considered to have one private property lah inshallah. I will thank you lah for opening my mind lah.
No worries, son. Anyway, I just want to mention also for those of you who are worried about hutang when you pass away and all this, there are ways to mitigate it. So when you are ready, inshallah, let me know. I will bring in the right people for you to talk to, get certain insurances to cover certain things. Okay, so that your hutang can actually be paid off. Okay, at the same time, your business can actually continue without you being around. Okay, so that at least all of these things can be taken care of. Right, there is always a way to do something. Importantly, kita kena nak dulu, kita kena intention, kita kena ada, baru benda ni akan berlaku lah insyaAllah. Anyway, I doakan for all of you, every single one of you here today, I sincerely doakan that insyaAllah all of you will be property owners, right? Can buy multiple properties insyaAllah. Okay, kita punya rumah insyaAllah biar yang ada property, ada investments insyaAllah, jadi kita semua boleh pass it down to the future generation insyaAllah. Mudah-mudahan kita punya future generation tak adalah any one of them yang rasa sedikit pun kemiskinan ataupun kesusahan dunia ini insyaAllah. That's my sincere dua for all of you. Alright, okay, any questions from anyone? If not, I will pass back to Shahid. Any questions anyone? Silakan. Ustaz Nafi, ada apa-apa tak Ustaz? Okay ya? Okay, set insyaAllah. Alright.
Actually, we so fast. Sorry.
Silakan.
Sebab since you say about property kan, I understand also of course property they tend to run down. So ada yang kata macam make sure after you buy 40 years later make sure you sell. So macam tak tahulah to sell or to keep macam mana tu.
Okay. Do you know dulu when I first started accounting, one of my clients the unit was at Haji Lane, tak salah nama 39 Haji Lane. Okay, that unit at that point in time, dia punya market value at that point in time was 800 plus thousand. Fast forward another 8 years after that, they asked me to help them to actually dispose all the assets, to close basically most of their punya assets yang mereka ada, and then to dibubarkan kepada all of their shareholders lah. At that point in time, the property went from 800,000 to 1.2 million. Okay, guess how much is it today? Guess how much is it today? Anyone? Silakan. Haikal, silakan Haikal.
Maybe sekarang dalam 3.2 million, 4 million.
Yes, it's 3 point something million. Okay, so for you to know sebenarnya, walaupun tempat tu dah buruk dah, kalau worst come to a situation, building control hantar you surat bilang Aisyah, your place is really run down. If you don't betulkan benda ni, your place, we will charge you a fine of 50,000 for example. Apa you boleh buat? You boleh panggil satu kontraktor datang, pecahkan the whole entire building pun, biar kosong, letak hoarding, tutup depan belakang, right? Tak ada orang tak boleh masuk, safe, right? The property is still yours, the value is still there. You tunggu je bila you nak jual. Faham? Okay, kalau you nak lagi lebih power, you nak naikkan balik building tu kasih lawa-lawa, boleh. You go to the bank, you call Shamir, you send me a right banker, then you find the right bank, dan this is my property. Okay, can I take a loan from you for 500,000 for me to go and rebuild balik the building? Anytime you boleh dapat. Okay, naikkan billing balik lawa-lawa, rent it out, pay back the loan of 500,000. Settled. Can? Okay, set. Anybody else? Any questions ke? Anything you want to say? Silakan.
Ini kirakan what you say macam sounds like a plan macam gitu je Fas
Memang sounds like a plan. No, masalahnya because I see this and I have helped clients to do this, you know. So it's not something yang I nak reka ke, I nak cerita-cerita untuk buat cerita sedap, you know. So it's something which has been done many times over and over again. So, you know, if takkan anak certain people je boleh buat. Kalau boleh anak semua kita buat. Right? Betul tak? Kan beza kalau you are a property tenant versus you are property owner. Betul tak? Beza tak? Kan tak ada beza, Yol. Tiap korang macam terpanjat je. Madam Nurani. Silakan Madam Nurani. Ada something to say? Sorry, Madam Rohania.
Ani Lafaz.
Cik Ani, Masya Allah.
Taruh kena nama betul, so nama betul. Nama komersial ni. Okay, anyway. Thank you so much. Learn a lot of things. Anyway, dia macam solat tadi bilangkan dia refresher, you know. Kalau tak dengar benda ni, dia kena ulang-ulang. Okay, two things I just want to bring out. Just maybe ask your expertise lah, betul ke tak betul. So far, Jamal Catering is been into our third generasi. So far since 1974, kita punya business tadi pasal you punya credit, when you pay your suppliers, you suruh kalau boleh jangan bayar itu jam lah, extend 7 days ke 14 days, kalau boleh 30 days. Tapi that's not what we are doing actually, because kita, my father-in-law semua mengajar kita bayar cash, kita tak nak hutang dengan orang. So Alhamdulillah so far, I don't know, it's a bit macam contradict lah. Mungkin perjalanan bisnes mungkin depend on one person to another and how much dia punya ni pasal kita. This is how we do lah so far. I hope kita tak ada berhutang orang. Number two, you bilang tadi loans don't put into expenses. Then what should it be put under? Which category?
Okay, I go back to your tadi you mentioned yang
the first one.
Cara payments and everything. Okay, I'm not saying apa you buat salah ke tidak. All I'm saying is kalau you tak nak ada hutang, kan, that's why you buy cash. You punya dividend tu is with Allah Ta'ala lah. Maknanya that's where you punya profile kat sana cantik in that sense. Okay, but for me, what I'm going through with you today is actually financial profiling. So I will want you to actually delay your payment. I want you to actually follow a certain methodology. Why? Because it gives you a better financial outlook in dunia. So I have to follow that. Okay, so that's where I'm coming from. Second question tadi you mentioned yang regarding apa tu? Boleh just repeat?
Whether the loans you pay is, you mentioned that I tangkap you cakap not under expenses. Don't put under expenses. Then what should it be then?
Okay. Actually, anything with to do with loans, okay, except for the interest, the payment yang you bayar tu is actually all a balance sheet item. It is actually something we just go through the balance sheet without going through your profit and loss account. That's why your profit and loss account, you will never see a loan repayment. You'll only see the interest expense as well. So that's why.
Too. Okay.
That's the reason why we do a P&L. dia lain daripada you punya real cash punya P&L. So to convert your P&L into a cash P&L, you kena continue kat bawah tu dah lepas profit tu, baru you minus out loan repayment ke, hutang kepada shareholder ke, that kind of stuff yang tak masuk dalam P&L. Okay, so that's the reason why it's a bit different.
Okay, maybe I just back a bit how we do yang pasal cash tu. Memang kadang-kadang kalau kita duit dalam tangan, kita extend to our suppliers, memang ada dia punya advantage lah. But having paying cash to our supplier pun ada advantage because suppliers will come to us and then we have the economies of scale, kita ada bargaining power. So dia tahu yang kita akan bayar cash, dia akan whatever kita macam kita client, kita sebagai macam king lah. That's what I just want to share a bit lah. Malahan kalau kita berhutang, dia akan tengok kita macam sengkek gitu. This is what But I think I agree with you. Certain time also kita boleh extend kita punya duit lah, so that you don't have to, like what you said, every day must collect cash, but don't pay out cash. Tapi tengok situasi. This is just my sharing aja lah.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, madam. I want to add on one more point to you. When you actually are in this situation, kalau boleh you turn it the other way around. Instead of you paying them cash so that they look at you as a king, you tell them, look, I'm going to take your business for 1 year, and the value of my purchases of your telur for 1 year is going to be X amount of telur. Faham tak? 1 bulan I can beli from you 30,000 telur.
Correct.
1 year berapa? So you take the bargaining power based on quantity. Yes.
Correct.
Not on your cash, not on cash payment.
Yes. No, kita win-win lah. I bayar you cash, tapi you kena give me something in return lah for our advantage also lah.
Tak. Maknanya you don't pay cash, you pay slower, but based on your confirmed order for the year.
Oh, I see. One lot
so
gitu
So you don't worry, I can kasih you this business, I takkan beli from anybody else. I will only buy from you. Setahun I will buy from you how many kilo of rice, how many telur, that kind of stuff. Jadi tahu tau, wah, I kalau buat business dengan Animo, bagus tau. 1 year punya business ada dapat. Then he will give you the credit.
Lagi satu mungkin kerana keunikan bisnes kita, we do catering kan, it's like the moment kau business weekends kan. So kadang-kadang kalau kita shortage of barang, kita cepat dapat. This is the advantage that we gain lah. Just sharing lah. Mungkin
that's true.
keunikan dia lain pada orang kan. Kalau imagine kalau kita minta daging shortage, orang semua tak nak hantar, masalah sikit. Sorry, just sharing.
No worries. Anyway, as you grow, insyaAllah, as your business grows, you have more cawangan atau your business even bigger, insyaAllah. Macam for example, macam Aisyah, like you have more and more places of business, right? You don't go for cash, jangan bayar cash at all, alright? Go for a 30 days term, okay? Negotiate based on quantity. When they know that you have 10 outlets, kan? Even you bayar every month one time pun, they will still come and run to you because you kasih orang business, confirm business. Okay, so kita grow our business, insyaAllah. Then we have a better bargaining power, insyaAllah. Thank you very much, Madam Mani. Okay, anybody else, anything to say, silakan. Kita nak wrap up ni. Everybody okay? Good? Okay, thank you very much. Those yang tak belanja pun today, previewers, thank you very much for being here. Masya Allah. Maybe kita dengar sikit suara daripada the gentleman in the black t-shirt, Mr. Sobri Nur. What do you do, bro?
Okay, boleh dengar suara?
Boleh. Kan? Boleh.
Yes. Nama saya Sobri. Saya buat barbershop.
Okay. Masya Allah.
Okay, so this is my 6th year dah buat business ni. So far kita ada 4 outlet. So outlet kita semua nearby Woodlands area.
I see. Nice. Masya Allah. Okay, cool. InsyaAllah, hope to see you again. Right?
Terima kasih.
Alright, Alhamdulillah. Isno ada dapat jumpa, Masya Allah. Very talented person, Masya Allah. Right. Nice to see you again. Anybody else yang dapat jumpa? Let me just have a look quickly. Okay, I think that's what Amir Bashiruddin is not here. Okay, thank you Kak Zu. Dah lama tak jumpa you. Okay, Ken, I pass back the mic to Shahid. Bismillah. Thank you everybody.
Alright, thank you so much. Alamak. Okay, ada technical difficulties. Hold on. Okay, sorry, Mira boleh help me share screen boleh? Alright, anyway, so to wrap up for today, basically we have the first sharing by Shamir Wahid with regards to the loans, with regards to basically how to better position yourself to actually achieve a loan. And so just now further on and then into the next segment, basically coach actually went on to go into the more basic or the fundamental ideals, building up to the loan aspect in that sense. So hopefully this session was a fruitful one. Inshallah, the recording for this session is recorded for our active monsters. It will be available in the portal by next week, inshallah. All right. Okay, Ken. All right. So first and foremost, this we are done with the session for February. So inshallah, we have a monthly session. So next session will be in March 2022. So watch out for the poster. We'll be updating the poster together with the featured speaker. All right, these are the dates for the year. So please, if you haven't already, please block them in your calendars. All right, so next up, budget 2022 is up and coming. It's next week, 18th of February 2022. The government, Ministry of Finance will be announcing the budget for 2022. What this means is that they'll be releasing information on the kind of support, the kind of grants, and also as Shamir Wahid mentioned earlier, regards to the loans in terms of the interest rates and also the support that they're giving. Okay, this is more from the business aspects. Of course, there's also the personal aspect in terms of, let's say, your GST vouchers, in terms of your UCA vouchers, duit tong sampah, so on and so forth. These are also part of the budget. But for us here in Mobster Deep and also our main entity accounting superhero, what we'll be doing is that we'll be analyzing and diagnosing the budget for 2022, and we'll be doing a Facebook Live to actually share with you how you can benefit from the budget 2022. And on top of that, we'll also be taking questions from the floor, or basically the audience, to basically answer your queries lah. So basically to water down the terms and concepts that are in the budget 2022. So hopefully it will be a beneficial one for everyone here, inshallah. More details to come, so watch out for the poster. All right. All right, so this is our members portal. All right, so I think most of us already familiar with this by now. So it's on our website, monstersofthedeep.co. You can click on the button member login at the top right corner. So this will bring you to the portal. On it, we have the recordings for each month and also our materials, our coaching materials, where you can access them, all right, at your own convenience. All right, so this is how it looks like. Can you go to the next slide? All right, so this is our Instagram page. This can scan this QR code. If you haven't already, you can scan it right now. All right, this will bring you to our Instagram page. So do follow us if you want to know more about any business advice or basically such as this. We have quite a bit of content there. We will be updating every week. So do watch out for our content. All right, last but not least, okay, every month, basically, we will make prayer to one of our earliest members of the coaching program back in 2018. He's the husband of our dear Madam Zuhaira. Okay, he's actually Muhammad bin Hassan. He passed away last year. So kita akan hadiahkan Fatihah kepada almarhum Muhammad bin Hassan. Semoga diampunkan segala dosa-dosa beliau, diterima segala amal ibadah beliau dan dinaikkan derajat beliau. Al-Haziniyah Al-Fatihah. Of course, not forgetting everyone else down here in this room together with us. All right, all of us are business owners here. We also would like to make doa from us to all of you. Basically, semoga all of us here as entrepreneurs, all our usaha, all our titik perlu diterima sebagai amal ibadah. Semoga selalu diberi tunjuk ajar yang benar. And last but not least, dipermudahkan segala urusan kami. Al-Haziniyah Al-Fatihah. Okay, we'll close with a short doa. A'udzubillahi minasyaitonirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin sayyidina wa maulana Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Allahumma fa'na bima 'allamtana wa 'allimna alladhi yanfa'una. Rabbi zidna ilman nafi'a wa wafiqna 'amalan maqbula. Allahumma hdina bihuda waj'alna mimman yusari'u fi ridha. تولنا وليا سوى ولا تجعلنا ممن خالف أمرك وعصى وحسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل ونعم المولى ونعم النصير ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين تقبل الله منكم. Thank you so much, everybody, for today's session. Our dear apologies if we actually overran a bit, but hopefully it was a fruitful one. And inshallah, I will see you all again in March. Yes, correct.
Syahid, question sikit. Regarding the logging in into the MOTD portal kan, there's a difference between kalau log in dengan handphone dengan desktop, is it?
A slight difference because of the mobile capabilities lah.
Does that mean kalau log in pakai handphone kita